Play.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
And I will also say, oh yeah, a lot of comments. So yeah, with Świątek, I will say that I think that it's high time, like next year, for a big run at a slam that's not Roland Garros. I mean, you cannot base your event. I mean, tennis is a brutal sport, right? I mean, she's still the best player of the season. She's still got an incredible win-loss record, but yeah, I mean, her year is still kind of based on one event, the French Open. And in that event, of course, she also had that second round match point against Osaka, right? I mean, to save. And I think something will need to change at some point. That's for sure. And it's been time to kind of think about some way to break out of her bad days, basically, because yeah, she gets out onto the court today with Pegula. She cannot handle the pressure coming off the flat shots of Jessie deep at her forehand. That's one thing, of course. That's a technical issue, sure. It's not that easy to work on that, obviously, with her grip. But she also doesn't really have a plan B, right? To kind of try to throw in something when the usual game plan doesn't work. And then from there, it just kind of descends into that huge hole, basically. And yeah, she just keeps going like that, and eventually is probably gonna just make 40 unforced errors and lose. So there's a lot to think about, I think, for the Iga team, even if she's still likely to finish number one, or at least be the favorite over Aryna in that race. We'll see how that goes. If Sabalenka only really has a shot if she wins the US Open, probably. But yeah, I think by next year it will be kind of imperative for Świątek to get another non-Roland Garros Grand Slam run. And of course, as I've said many times this week, especially because it's kind of been more relevant, the 2022 US Open just changes the entire outlook on her career at the moment. Without that, we're just talking about 4 slams at Roland Garros, which would be amazing, but it would very much make her like not a one surface specialist, given she wins so many WTA 1000s, but a one slam specialist. And the fact that she has that is just incredibly vital for all the discourse that we have on Świątek right now.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
You join us here for the Seville ATP Challenger. Rock up a day to serve. What's he gonna serve up? Some tapas? A good first serve. Gives him a 40-love lead. This all Spanish affair against Cabellas Baena. Not known for his big serving, but that was decent. That was not. Let the tennis do the talking. One-handed backhand clips the net. Bit fortunate there. Drop shot. Oh, you cannot teach that. You cannot teach that. Takes a 2-1 lead.
If you enjoyed this video,
Ready? Play.
I want one more thing from you, Francisca. Can you look at the camera and I want you to say, I am Francisca Jorge and I am a friend of the show. Can you try it?
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend. I'm a wait.
Go. It's okay.
I'm Francisca George, and I'm a fan of the show.
One more time. Can you say, I'm a friend of the show?
Friend.
Like amigo.
Friend.
A friend. So, because we joke, we have players come on all the time, they have no idea, but after they've been on, we say, oh, Yelena Ostapenko is a friend of the show. She has no idea. But so if we get you to say, I am Francisca Jorge, or how you say your name, and
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect. Thanks, Francisca. Just want you to do me one more thing. I want
Ready? Play.
Well, hello there. Welcome to Talking Tennis. And this is it. This is what we're here for. The final Women's Grand Slam of 2024 ends today. And the champion is going to be Aryna Sabalenka or Jessica Pegula. And I'm here to watch it with the one, the only, practically Mr. Talking Tennis himself, Damien Kust. How you doing?
No, I mean, don't call me that. I mean, Nurlan and John are the co-founders. I can only be like the third guy in command. But yeah, I mean, just so Roberto Carballes Baena in the most important final of the day, now we can actually get to Aryna Sabalenka and Jessica Pegula. I will be watching this one courtesy of Polish TV, actually. So we'll see how they are in terms of the speed. It's rare for me. I will not be watching with commentary. Thankfully, I watched some of the doubles final earlier on Polish TV, and both commentators, one of them is a friend of mine, were calling Max Purcell like Parcel or something like that. And I was just like, yeah, it's very tough for me to handle. So thankfully, I will not be watching that with commentary. I will be instead listening to Unic, which definitely is an improvement.
Well, I'm glad you think so. Although, if I'm somehow better than actual professional commentators, this is a worrying state for tennis media right now, because I still don't know what I'm doing. Yes, Brazy, I am wearing the same jumper. It's the nicest jumper I have, so why not? And yeah, you have to ask Damien about his webcam, but we're not here to talk about ourselves. We're here to talk about the tennis. And yeah, Jessica Pegula and Aryna Sabalenka, we're waiting for them to come out on court. They've just done the national anthem and all the pomp and ceremony that we're going to get ahead of this clash between Pegula and Sabalenka. A clash many might have predicted going into this, given these are two of the form players of the North American hardcourt season. And they were rightfully two of the top three in most people's power rankings before the event, including mine. So it probably isn't a huge surprise going into this that they are the finalists. However, Damien, are we giving Pegula more than a 0% chance?
It's the same webcam, by the way, Brazy. I'll just say that. Well, I don't know. It has this like ability to tweak a bit, but apparently I wasn't doing it that well while still at home. Anyway, yeah, I think when I saw the odds just like 10 minutes ago, and they were the same for Sinner and for Sabalenka, like that's stupid to me. I do not get that at all. Sabalenka has a much more risky play style, and it's best of 3 as well. I think Pegula obviously has a shot. How high how high her chances are, yeah, it's pretty tough to say. First of all, how she will handle this mentally. I think against Muchova in the first semi, she kind of was carried by the crowd and didn't really start too well. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I mean, she's got the tools to give this one a better fight than in Cincinnati, I think. You had in Cincinnati, you had Sabalenka like barely losing points on serve until 6-3, 5-3. I think she still ended at like 95% on first serve. This will not happen today. So yeah, I mean, I'm all for Pegula giving it a fight here. If she can keep herself close, who knows? Opportunities might pop up. Aryna has had some issues, in some latter stages of slams. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for a pretty competitive match. If it's gonna be lopsided, I think it's more about Pegula not really like handling it at all. I think she obviously has the tools to like at least make it somewhat tricky for Aryna.
The players that are currently being interviewed by Mary Jo Fernandez, by the way, a player who has been in a few Grand Slam finals, lost all of the ones in singles. Yeah, I would agree with your assessment there. Like, it's all going to come down to how Pegula handles the occasion, because the crowd are going to be more of a factor here than in Cincinnati. The surface is slower, and Pegula is playing with the most confidence I have ever seen from her, to be honest. So I'm with you. It's all going to come. She has it in her to make it closer. That being said, when you look at how Aryna Sabalenka did, other than losing one set to Ekaterina Alexandrova due to Alexandrova just hitting crazy for a set, it wasn't. It seems to be one of the more confident final runs we've seen from Aryna Sabalenka, kind of on par with what we saw from the Australian Open in previous years, and definitely more solid and confident than her US Open run last year.
Yeah, I wanted to say something around the time when you were talking about Mary Jo Fernandez, but no, I don't remember that. Anyway, somewhere I saw a tweet that there was going to be like the coin toss was going to be performed by some interesting individuals. I'm not really sure who that is going to be, but...
Well, I guess we'll find out because they're still about to walk onto court now, so we'll just keep an eye on the coin toss.
Could be Jack Edward, you know.
Look, you wouldn't hire anyone else for your coin toss, right?
I mean, if I was organizing an event, I would definitely call for Jack. He's a professional now.
He is. He's definitely the case. So he should be flown out to New York immediately. There's the US Open trophy in the corner next to "Pressure is a privilege." The famous quote from Billie Jean King as Aryna Sabalenka walks out onto this court. And yeah, we've let's keep an eye on who's doing the coin toss. Talk to me, Damien, while we're actually, you know what? I was going to do a bit of analysis, but questions about sort of the run. But Brace has just popped into the chat with a really good question, which I know he's directing at me, but I'm actually going to direct at you first, Damien. Does Jessica Pegula need to start fast to stand a chance today?
Probably. I mean, we are just. I just mentioned that Muchova match that like the crowd kind of carried her into it. Yeah, I mean, she's playing Sabalenka now. She probably can't afford something like that again. Well, that is not someone famous. Oh, that is Kim Clijsters and who? I don't know.
See, okay, so I've got James Kiothevong on my screen. You are Polish TV still beats UK TV.
Incredible. This is definitely Kim Clijsters, but the other woman I don't know at all. Maybe it's her daughter or something.
Yeah, I'm seeing a child walking onto the screen now, followed by Kim Clijsters. Yeah, and oh gosh, who is that next to it? Yeah, I can't.
Like her daughter. I don't know if Kim Clijsters can have a daughter this age.
This is, by the way, this is probably exactly the content that you guys want to see. Yeah, I have no idea who that curly-haired woman next to Kim Clijsters is standing next to the net. So someone's going to... If you in the chat are watching and you know, then please do say...
I think they did something wrong. They like called them up again. They're like, Kim, you did horrible. Come back. We're going to have to do a redo. Nurlan, do I feel like I am fighting against the system or establishment? Probably not. But I definitely...
No, you do realize you're talking to Damien, not Pappy G.
Yeah, I mean, not in that way, but I definitely feel like I am alone sometimes in my quest to make challengers popular, which, I mean, it's okay.
I don't think you could be alone in that because you've got Nurlan backing you up and you've got people like Dave and Brady and Keen.
I mean, sure, yeah, obviously. I am pretty pleased with the kind of small community that I've managed to maybe like, establish. So yeah, it doesn't really feel all that alone, I guess. But that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to your question. Otherwise, yeah, I don't feel like I actively fight. Still swear that I was in the movie Challengers. It's a fake movie. There's no challengers in there. I mean, I guess a little bit, but yeah, never mind.
I thought the whole thing took place during a challenger.
Yeah, that's why I said, I mean, a little bit, but they also kind of misrepresented, right? I mean, I think they say that this is the lowest level possible.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, okay, yeah, that's definitely wrong. Because ITF futures exist.
Anyway, what about that slow start? Let's come back to that.
Let's go back to that. Yes. So we've talked a lot about Jessica Pegula and her chances. Has Sabalenka, this tournament for you, reinforced the status of heavy favorite that she kind of achieved after Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been nothing to really like deny that. And so far. I mean, she's pretty much facing the second best opponent second best performer of this North American hardcore swing. But this is also a player she's already beaten. And I mean, that was one of the matches where, like, I think even the scoreline looks a bit better than the match was. So yeah, I mean, she's clearly the woman to beat. She was kind of, she was out at Wimbledon. She had an injury. She then didn't play the Olympics as well. I mean, she just didn't want to. And I think in a way it kind of helped her just be extremely strong for this one. I mean, she started early in North America. She didn't go through the switch to clay, especially the switch to grass was a little shorter. And then she just goes here, Washington, Toronto. She's still like, picking up form. And by Cincinnati, she's just absolutely unplayable. Last year, obviously, she also came into the US Open final as a favorite. Let's remember that.
She did.
And I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll see a repeat from that, but it looks a little less likely. But I mean, I was sitting in the same place probably last year, or actually maybe I wasn't, but at least I was sitting in, another stream around that time, and I probably would have said the same, or like, that she's the woman to beat for sure. But yeah, I mean, since Cincinnati, she's just been unplayable, and this has very much continued into the US Open as well.
I guess for me, the difference between this year and last year is I felt like Goff had a special kind of momentum. Obviously, she was in a similar position to JPEG, except that she'd won Cincinnati and she won Washington, and the only person to beat her was Pegula in Montreal. And then the way she kind of came through the draw and kind of just refusing to lose, and I was kind of looking at it going, yeah, I gave Coco quite a bit of a chance against Sabalenka in that final. So this one's slightly different in that obviously we've had Sabalenka beating Pegula, who was kind of on that run in a similar kind of situation. But it does have to be said, there are plenty of cases where when we've had a kind of repeat of the Cincinnati final in the US Open final, the result's been reversed. 2020, okay, wasn't technically in Cincinnati and the final didn't take place, but Osaka reversed against Azarenka. 2016, Kerber avenged her Cincinnati loss to Pliskova. 2013, Serena Williams eventually lost to Victoria Azarenka in Cincinnati. It's a weird trend when we've had their sort of Cincinnati finalists make the US Open, the results being reversed. Now trends are there to be broken, but it's a weird stat to put out there.
Another weird stat that kind of surprised me when just looking at their head-to-head, basically, I don't know, like an hour, like a day ago, was that, well, Sabalenka might be 5-2, but take out clay out of the equation, and it's actually super close. It's only on clay that Sabalenka has just demolished her 3 times, but otherwise they've played 4 times at only 2 events, the WTA Finals and Cincinnati. Of course, it also can be kind of said that, well, the WTA Finals is a bit like 2 events in itself in their matches because it was Fort Worth and Cancun. But I mean, yeah, just the WTA Finals in Cincinnati, they've split these 4 meetings. Sabalenka destroyed her on clay 3 times.
The roof is closed, by the way, because I'm seeing pictures of torrential rain outside the grounds. I hadn't realized that. That's going to really benefit Sabalenka slightly more, right?
Perhaps. Pegula had a pretty horrible performance last year at the US Open when the roof was closed, right? And
True.
Serving prowess that we mentioned kind of in Cincinnati, she just literally could not handle Sabalenka's serve. But I don't know, maybe it won't be that impactful. I still feel like she should be getting more done on return here.
Well, she's about to get an early taste of Sabalenka serve because the Belarusian, the number 2 seed, is serving first in this US Open final. Here we go. We will have another new US Open champion in Flushing Meadows as the point starts and Pegula keeps herself in the rally, hits a deep forehand. Sabalenka gives her the short ball for Pegula to put away. Again, gets it really deep, and Sabalenka doesn't actually get it because it just clips the baseline. Pegula gets the first point. Okay, Pegula's not playing around.
Yeah, more like, I mean, you said that she was going to get the taste of the Sabalenka serve, but more like Sabalenka is going to get the taste of the flat pace that Jessie can direct at her. I don't know. You know, at Cincinnati, she had to wait for a break point, I think, until the moment when Sabalenka was serving for the match at 6-3, 5-4.
Oh, another good return from Pegula yields, and Sabalenka delivers an unforced error on the forehand up the line to love 30.
Man, Polish TV is rapid.
Yeah, look, clearly you just have a special connection out there, Damien.
I mean, it's Eurosport. I guess it's probably the same around Europe, you know, the countries that use it. But
maybe Sky just sucks. Sabalenka finally gets a point. Unreturned serve, 15-30.
I mean, we chose to exit Europe, you know, that's why you have slow streams now.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, when I was on Prime, I was a bit more up to speed. Oh, that's an ace from Sabalenka. 30-all. So at the minute, yeah, provided Sabalenka, when Sabalenka's, I suppose let's rephrase it. So far, when Pegula's got the serve back in play, she's winning the point. Sabalenka's only winning points on serve at the minute.
Yeah, but I mean, if she keeps landing first serves like this, this is the Cincinnati level serving again so far.
Absolutely. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, unreturnable serve again. And Sabalenka, yeah, holds to start with after losing the first 2 points. So good going to get started there. Something I looked up and I hadn't realized before, but the US Open is actually quite a painful slam for the nation of Belarus as a whole, because we've had someone from Belarus in the final 4 times, 3 times Azarenka, 1 time Sabalenka, obviously before today, 5th. And they've lost in 3 sets every single time. So this is a trophy that the nation of Belarus wants their players to hold.
Has Max Mirny at least won it?
And doubles? Probably. I need to look at the list of US Open doubles champions.
I guess Sabalenka also won it in doubles, right?
I think she did.
Yeah.
But it's a singles trophy.
Yeah, Mirny won it twice. And Sabalenka, I think, did as well.
Double fault to start from... No, that's not a double fault. Looks like it was less than a fault from Pegula, who maybe is feeling the pressure on her own serve a bit. Sabalenka really attacks that backhand inside out on the return. Goes back to the Pegula forehand, goes cross court. Sabalenka's really pushing Pegula back, and Pegula nets. This is the kind of point we were seeing from Cincinnati now.
I guess when Sabalenka won it in 2019, it was kind of different, though, because one of the losing players was Azarenka. So...
Oh, yeah. What do we make of Yelena Ostapenko winning her 2nd Grand Slam?
Cool. I mean, she's been pretty good in doubles over the years, right? I mean, it's not like a major surprise, I guess.
I mean, credit to her and Kitchenok for just keeping on going with it. And yeah, it's finally paid dividends. Yeah,
like 2013, I think, was their first appearance. So they've really had a long journey. Of course, they haven't been playing constantly with each other, but yeah.
We've got Pegula slicing Sabalenka to death. Sabalenka's counter slice does not do well, ends up in the net. I mean, that's a very specific question for you from Manila here.
Yeah, maybe Kimiko Date on the women's. If right now, then I mean, I'm already thinking maybe Kim Van Zheng, but yeah, let's say Kimiko Date for now. And men's. Tough not to say one of these young guys from China. I mean, they're also good. Like Wu Zhang, give me one of them all day long. Obviously, Nishikori is always beautiful to watch as well. So yeah, I mean, that's more or less. It's not really one answer with the men I know, but like I love all of them. Wu, Zhang.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jerry Shank's great. He's probably my favorite from that. Also, I was going to say
Toshihide Matsui as well. Toshihide Matsui. If you want to, you can check out the interview we did with John with him on the channel from Porto. And tomorrow he's actually going to play singles. This is the week where he drops out of the ATP rankings if he doesn't get a win at 46 years of age. But yeah, him as well.
I was going to say, Kimiko Data, you're not old enough to have watched her play, and I realised, no, wait, she carried on.
Actually, yes.
Yes, we both watched her live. Like, she carried on until she was like 50.
Not her prime, of course, not in the 90s when she was like number 4 in the world, but yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of Kimiko Data matches, yes. I love these stories when someone like super old decides to keep playing it. No, it's fantastic. That's a good question. Yeah, how is he still a professional player? And honestly, almost no one can do it, but still has the motivation and keeps doing it.
Pegula managed to chase down the Sabalenka drop shot. She looked definitely quick enough to get it. Goes for the pass, and the volley kind of just dies off Sabalenka's racket.
Ghosty was hoping for the Sabalenka drop shot to come up today.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we know that he'll be rooting for Sabalenka.
I mean, yeah, he was hoping for better execution of it. Yes, but
here we go. Sabalenka goes for forehand. Pegula's got time on her forehand though. Now slices the backhand. Sabalenka's going to go for the attack cross court with her backhand. Backhand Pegula keeping things very solid at the minute. Still able to rally with Sabalenka, who nets 15-30. Guys, I think this final might be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's really that trend that you mentioned in the opening game, where like on Sabalenka's serve we have Pegula winning every rally.
Yeah, that's absolutely fascinating. I mean, like whatever game plan she's come up with is interesting. I mean, we got to a rally here. Sabalenka's going out in line with the backhand again. Pegula's having to defend a fair bit. Sabalenka's gone wide. We've got break points, 15-40. Like, she's just going, I think Pegula keeps asking her the question, can you finish the point? And Sabalenka keeps going, and Sabalenka so far is no.
Yeah, and it's not like the Pegula ball is that like comfortable to handle. It's quite flat. It's coming at you fast. Skids off the surface a little bit. It's not easy. And yeah, I mean, Sabalenka, it's clear that she's the better player overall, but like that doesn't always win you matches. And this so far is a very promising start for Jessica Pegula.
I mean, yeah, I'm just seeing this now. Yeah, great return from Pegula. Forces the error from Aryna. We're into Pegula breaks early, and she looks fairly, just like makes a face like, yeah, I'm that good.
Routine, right? Yeah. I think she was just like, yeah, I landed it. Okay, walk to the bench. There was a funny Kevin Kravitz volley today. I think it was still when they were losing in the doubles final, so I don't think it was when they were kind of like back again ahead or something like that. So maybe it was also because he was already, quite loose and kind of relaxed. But there was a funny volley that like kind of had him stretching on the forehand side, and when he finished it, he was like very close to his bench. So there was basically no reaction to that volley, and he just was on the bench like momentarily. He ended the point and was already sitting because it was game point, right? And he was already sitting on the bench like half a second later.
Win or lose, like regardless of the result of this final, I want to get your perspective on this, Damien, because I know where I'm currently sat on it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we seeing the best tennis Pegula's ever played? Like, if we're thinking about this North American hardcourt swing, but particularly this US Open.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
I can't think of a time where I've seen her play this well before.
The whole swing, when she won Montreal last year, she lost pretty early in Cincy. She was quite gassed. This time she makes the final as well. US Open, obviously, I mean, just to break that quarterfinal barrier. I know that Świątek didn't play her best in the quarters, but I mean, yeah, it's still a massive thing for her, obviously, after all the times it took her, really. And I mean, after a pretty like mediocre season outside of one title, really, she's completely turned it around, and this is definitely the best we've seen from her, and the closest she's been to winning a slam level-wise, and now also result-wise, obviously.
Well, she's got to have to deal with that a bit better, because that drop shot she played was, frankly, just not good. Nowhere near clearing the net. Love 15. So I want to just answer comes Thriller. I do know that Jess is half Korean, which is really cool. And again, I saw something like another stat going into this USA was she nets a forehand, love 30, that she's won a tournament where all of her parents are based, apart from where her dad is from, which is New York.
All of her parents, by the way.
Well, parents and grandparents as well.
Yeah. It's really funny. All of her parents outside of her dad.
Yeah,
that sounds like an Opta stat.
I mean, some people can have complicated families.
Sure.
By the way, as we're seeing this this point come up here, let's see if Pegula can get it. It's a moonball from Sabalenka. Backhand cross court into the net from Sabalenka. Nerlan actually asked a question in the chat, which well, actually made a statement. It wasn't really a question, saying Pegula has the best baseline game in the WTA. And whilst I wouldn't say it's like the clear best, because I'm not sure there is a clear best in the WTA, I think she's definitely up there.
And obviously, she's been kind of like the 5th best player in the world for a while now. I don't know if it's just like, if she really had the best baseline game on tour, she'd be the best player on tour. Like, I don't think it's the serve return or something like that that's really keeping her, from doing even better.
By the way, I just love that forehand she hit into the corner.
Yeah.
To force
So dynamic out of the corner there, defending, but actually very actively.
Oh, that Sabalenka responds with her own fire forehand there with a winner deuce.
That's obviously a bit of a key here for Pegula to, like, even when she's defending, still be pretty active and not just fall behind and allow Sabalenka to cruise.
And I just want to cruise here. She's gone. Sabalenka attacks that return, and now she's going cross court. Backhand Pegula just clears the net. Slice from Sabalenka is going to tee off the Pegula forehand, which is long. Break back point for Sabalenka. Sabalenka, and like, let's face it, we weren't gonna. I couldn't see Sabalenka just letting Pegula run away with this. But let's see what happens here. Obviously, Damien probably already knows what happened, but I'm catching up, guys. Getting the reaction here as Pegula goes long on that serve to try and defend break point.
That is a fascinating tattoo that guy in the Sabalenka box has.
Is that the one she made him get after she won something? I can't remember. Great return again from Sabalenka, forces the out from Pegula backhand, and she breaks 2-all.
How can you have something huge like this planted on your face?
I think that's a temporary tattoo because he wasn't wearing that the other day.
Thankfully.
And also, would you really want to get a tattoo permanently on your head like that? That's a lot of ink as well, let's be honest. Here we go. This match is definitely competitive now as Sabalenka's forcing Pegula around the court and finishes with an overhead, 15 love. But yeah. Yeah, Braze is saying it looks like a fake tattoo. Yeah, I thought that too. I mean, I'm not an expert on them. That tattoo of Pegula's back is new. I don't remember seeing it before. So I don't know what it says, but seems to be helping her out a bit. But yeah, thoughts on that break back last game, Damien? Like, that felt like Sabalenka forcing the issue a little bit more.
Yeah, there were a couple of quality returns, but still that deuce error from Pegula where she's kind of forced to create a bit more on her forehand, and it's not that easy. When, like, literally she's just the one injecting the pace. I don't know. Definitely had her moments. 40-30 could have taken it, but Sabalenka crushes that one forehand. It still feels very close, but yeah, it's not gonna be just bed of roses. Got that amazing break, and now she's gonna fly over to the first set.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't think Pegula's going to let her go away that easily. That's for sure. There There's the real tattoo of Sabalenka on her left arm, the tiger tattoo.
Yeah, it's the same pattern, I think.
Yeah, I think that's her. I think it's a kind of its official logo almost, or close as you can get. All right. Pegula's really standing in the court for that return position there, and it worked because Sabalenka's double faulted. Like, that's Caroline Garcia levels of return position there from Pegula. Is that going to be her plan for the whole match? It's a risky move. We get 30 all. Like, Sabalenka's not having it easy out here. What's she going to produce? Gets a great serve. Now she's going to step in. Pegula's going to try and lob it overhead for Sabalenka. Clears it. 40-30.
Coco Gauff probably would have chased down the smash last year in the final.
Yeah, there's no, absolutely. I remember that because Gauff was getting a racket on absolutely everything, and that's what helped her win the match because that was what frustrated Sabalenka into making so many errors because she felt like she had to overplay to get it past her. Great return from Pegula though to get the return in court, and now they're trading at the minute. Pegula's going to go. Oh, she overplays the forehand inside out, and it's game to Sabalenka. And we've got a very good question from Throw from Manila in the chat, which I think Damien, since it's addressed to you, you should tackle.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm wondering honestly. Like, part of me wants to say 10-time slam champ because you just have a lot of like joy in your life. Like, you know, you just literally go through your career and you win so much. So like, there's a lot of great moments in there for you. But in terms of like strictly tennis legacy, you know, being a star, if you may, obviously being a one-slam wonder would be a little better, maybe even financially. But I think I would actually say 10-time slam doubles champion, just because you get so much success in your career and, you know, so many moments to kind of cherish, even if you cannot maybe impress somebody else with this, right? Outside the tennis world, like outside the tennis world, they just think you're a bum. But I'd still go for that, I think. I
would definitely agree with you. I think, I would rather have 10 double slams. It would be a good career to have. It would earn me a living and I'd have a lot of success. And yeah, I probably wouldn't be remembered as a tennis player, but I'd still get a lot of respect from my peers. I think doubles players do deserve a lot of respect because they can be semi-successful in singles court. And although having said that, however much I earned from being a doubles champion would not be as worth to me much to me as the $2 from Ghosty. So thank you so much, Ghosty, for our prize of $2. Really appreciate it.
Apparently we won. I think it was our silent discussion with Ghosty.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, we're back on court now after the change of ends. I'm liking Jake's answer there as a great volley from Sabalenka to get the opening point there, love 15. And again, showing that she's not just a power player. She's got so much variety in her game. The big hitting helps, and it's super impressive to watch, but actually, and it's maybe why she's won some doubles titles as well, she's got amazing touch with the racket. Pegula aces, by the way, for 15 all. $20 minutes in, 15 all, 2-3. Pegula serves. Sabalenka's going to go on the attack with a return. And now, did that return go long, or I don't think from Pegula's expression it did. It must have clicked the baseline, and Pegula's netted off it, and it's 15-30. Now Sabalenka's looking like she might take control of the set here after Pegula was up earlier.
Yeah, this is starting to look like Pegula is kind of fighting for her life right now. Obviously got that ace in this game, but otherwise not much going on for her. Also, the previous one, the game point that she lost, that was literally the same forehand error as fourth game deuce.
Yeah,
So I
Sabalenka,
doesn't necessarily suit her when the point goes that much longer, actually.
yeah, Sabalenka is definitely turning the rallies into her hands now. She's dictating again. It's looking very like Cincinnati. We've got the first 2 break points of the match. Also, producer, you should be paying more attention. Yeah, Pegula went 2-1 up with a break, and Sabalenka could be about to win 3 in a row.
Producer is like, should I be paying more attention? RCB.
I think Damien will forgive you for doing challenger things.
If it was something connected to the Ray of Sevilla, then definitely.
That was not a good forehand from Pegula. Not enough spin on it, and it's 4-2 Sabalenka. And we've gone from, hang on, what's Pegula doing to Sabalenka to, and Sabalenka's in control. Brazy, John is still, Brazy, John's drinking habits have never stopped him from being attentive before.
Wow.
But yeah, no, we need to get this. We need to get these RCB interviews up. That's important. Great content from challengers as always. As Pegula's now moving Sabalenka around a bit. Sabalenka's 40 to slice. Now got a deep slice forehand from Pegula. That was probably the wrong choice there. Sabalenka's now going to drop shot Pegula. Pegula's going to scoop it up. Sabalenka's going to take the volley out the air. It's 15-love. That was a point Pegula probably should have won, but played. I don't know why she played the forehand slice.
Yeah, even the return, she was very close to securing the point already with that. Sabalenka barely made that very wavy forehand, but anyway.
Yeah, so at the minute Sabalenka is going for her 4th consecutive game. Oh dear. So Damien is clear. I'm hoping that Damien is watching this match and not something else. Again, no, you're chuckling at something.
No, I was just at Jake's comment.
Oh, Jake, yeah. Oh, that's a interesting drop shot. Again, that's letting Sabalenka down a little bit. 15-all. RCB Altmaier was a good challenger final.
Yeah. Every single challenger final this week is really strong. I mean, not every single one, but there's also Medjedovic Džumhur. Rodionov Gasquet. These are probably the top 3.
By the way, although having said that, like, you keep getting me high on Medjedovic, and then whenever I back him to go deep in a tournament, he doesn't.
Well, he's into the final.
True. I mean, a big tournament.
Lost one set. Got broken only just once so far. It's a big tournament, Nick. It's a Challenger 75 in Turkey.
Is that where Nerland's coming to us from?
Yeah. Gokarp as well. Gokarp visited the event a couple of times this week.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Medjedovic takes this one, and suddenly the path to finishing top 100 is still there.
Sabalenka's gone along with the backhand, 30-all. Kind of here for a Pegula breakback, I'm not going to lie. If she can do it. I just for the sake of having a competitive final.
Yeah, absolutely. Steph Curry, it's a good name, I have to say. I have never watched him play because I don't care about basketball, but it's kind of like Basel, our friend Basel, just be named and your surname is Curry. It's really good.
What on earth was that forehand from Sabalenka? Not in a bad way, it was just ludicrously good. Just so much on it. Beautiful shot, clips the baseline. No one in the world has a hope of dealing with that. 10th win of the match. Pegula gets a forehand backhanded play. Backhand wide from Sabalenka. We're at deuce. Also, can we leave Schwarner alone in the chat? He's not done anything.
Yeah. Nurlan is a bully.
Yeah, so Sabalenka might be letting Pegula into this game because she's lost every point from the ad side so far. She's got to be careful here. Pegula again stepping in for the second serve. Not quite deep, but like she's definitely inside the baseline for it. Takes on the backhand up the middle. Backhand Sabalenka. Pegula's having to chase it down with a slice. Forehand Sabalenka inside out. Pegula again scrambling it back into play. Sabalenka looking to overwhelm. Pegula's going for the pass. Sabalenka's having to drop shot it. Pegula's going to get in. Oh, her pass attempt went in the net. There's advantage Sabalenka. It was a good drop shot though. It was really awkward for Pegula to pick up. And again, this is like one of those points where I think Pegula is hanging with Sabalenka a little better than in Cincinnati. And it's causing some frustration for Sabalenka, but for the most part, provided Sabalenka doesn't make errors, she's still able to hit through it. Could have been an ace, but it wasn't. Sabalenka blows on her fingers and gets ready for a second serve. And goes backhand play from Pegula. Sabalenka nets. This is ridiculous. We've had 4 points Sabalenka on the juice side and 4 points Pegula on the ad side. This is a very weird game. Also, good grief, I had not realised the second serve to one stat was so low. That's just flashed up on my screen. 22% for Sabalenka, 0% for Pegula, which is huge pressure for Pegula on that second serve if she's not winning any points behind it.
Yeah, I mean, the previous point definitely was just, again, how flat she went at the Sabalenka backhand. Aryna herself doesn't really get it over the net.
Got an overhead from Sabalenka to finish the point. Pegula knows there's no point running for it.
Well,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the case. So, like, Pegula's going to need to definitely be under pressure in the next service game. Also, Brazy, good offense always overcomes great defense most of the time, but not always. Tell that to Coco Gauff in the last year's US Open semi-final. Like last year's US
that wasn't a great offense.
I mean, depends what you mean by great offense. Brazy think this match is going for straights. I mean, it's in danger of doing that. I think my stance on whether it goes straight or not is going to depend on whether Pegula holds serve here. We seem to be getting some content from the challenger for some reason coming through. Looks to Dave says
all the Carballes Baena titles.
Possibly.
I mean, all the trophies that he's already won in Seville.
Dave says Djokovic begs to differ for good offense always overcomes great defense. Good point.
I mean, it's kind of, it's a line, and it's kind of true. Like, if you're just going to paint all the lines, you're not going to be defeated. Of course, whether you can do that consistently or not, that's a very different story.
Yeah, I guess when you say great offense versus great defense, like, for me, like, if your offense is that good that you're hitting lines, like, there is no defense in the world that's going to be good enough. You've just basically brought a rocket launcher to a rifle fight.
I'm not laughing at what you said. I'm just laughing at Nuland.
I know. But when I think of great offense versus great defense, I do think of like long rallies where the defending player's trying to keep himself in it. But yeah, do you want to comment on your double fault record as Sabalenka hits an amazing backhand winner?
I mean, I don't really double fault that often, but that's only because I don't risk at all. And my second serve is horrible. So I don't know. I guess technically you could say that, because otherwise, I mean, we don't really do many other things similarly. But yeah, I mean, I'm lost for words. So
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying is that if Damien double faulted a lot, he wouldn't have 2 wins over John Silk.
my main similarity with between my game and Sabalenka's is that we're both holding a racket. We both have shoes on, and then once the actual hitting begins, that's when the similarities stop. Oh no, actually, definitely not Aryna. My toss is very low.
Yeah. Is that an unreturned serve? No, not quite from Pegula. It's a let.
That is a very interesting stat on my screen. So apparently, the average service game of Pegula is just 2 minutes, and Sabalenka's is a lot longer. Of course, partially it's just impacted by that previous game, but that's pretty wild, honestly. Like that Pegula's games have been so quick because she's lost her serve twice.
And it also shows how easily she gave up her serve in this set.
Yeah, clearly even the breaks were very quick.
She hits a winner there. Gets fortunate with a bit of a let cord, and 5-3. Yeah, and I think so far, if Sabalenka holds here, which I would expect her to, a 6-3 set's probably about right. It's the one break. Yeah. It's just it does still feel relatively competitive between these two. By the way, I did compare my game to Świątek's in that I like to hit everything, my forehand, with a lot of topspin. However, the key differences are, 1, my grip is not as extreme. 2, I'm not as fast. 3, I don't hit the ball as hard. And 4, I miss way more. So many more.
I think could go on, you could.
Yeah, keep going. Those are the big ones, but that list could keep going. Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
I mean, I play a guy in my league who models his game off Marion Bartoli.
Wow. Two-handed forehand?
Yeah.
Cool.
A little bit of a push. I'm not going to be
I've never seen that, I think, in recreational play.
Inside that fight in the middle of the court winner from Sabalenka. Yeah, no, yeah, he had a two-handed forehand. I mean, honestly, his forehand might be the weaker side, which I'm not used to when I'm playing someone. So, I mean, honestly, he's actually kind of a pusher. He just gets everything back. Also absolutely loves Sara Sariba's Torma.
Makes sense. Yeah, apparently it's the highlights from the Seville Journalists Tournament, where we saw some clips from Mr. Carlos Navarro, who's been on the stream a couple of times before. And well, his opponent had a very interesting backhand technique.
Was it opponent John?
No, it was like Javi Santos or something like that.
Oh,
because John asked him cuál es tu nombre.
I've just seen Sabalenka net a forehand, 15-30. The crowd's
getting
the
points he probably should have won, right? I mean, she was fully in control. It was kind of a reminder of that last year's final with how much she was in control in that one and smashing the ball. Pegula barely gets it back. Like you can see that, of course, she's not as athletic. She's not as fast as Goff as well in terms of pure speed, but she still managed to win a point like this. And who knows? Maybe it will be important.
Gets the ball in play. Backhand cross court from Pegula. Backhand. They're still trading backhand to backhand on the cross court. Pegula getting some lovely depth on her shots as well. Sabalenka's going to tee up on a forehand up the line. Backhand cross court Pegula. She's not cowed at the minute. Now she's attacking. Oh, she's gone into the net with the backhand. It's 30-all. That was a chance there for Pegula. She was in that rally.
It's really not that easy for her to win points like this, though, when she's trying to create herself and just, I don't know, what is she supposed to do in a spot like this?
Yeah, I don't think she's that bad at creating winners.
When there's when there's something she can step inside the court for, yeah, but she really isn't troubling Sabalenka with anything here.
30-all. Pegula's again stepping inside the court for this second serve return.
Well, with that, maybe she's troubling Sabalenka, and well, the result is what it is.
That's a double fault. That's a nasty double fault from Sabalenka. 30-40. Sabalenka a little bit frustrated at the minute. Both 100% on break point conversion so far. You know, the minute that stat's going to come on the screen, that's going to get broken. That's not going to happen. Great stuff from Sabalenka. The return from Pegula is in there, ready for Sabalenka to tee off on the forehand. First break point saved of the match. That was just right there. It just bounced. Sabalenka had all the time in the world to hit the amazing forehand that she's got.
Yeah, blocks sitting up like this clearly won't work. Do we think that the women's slam finals should be 3 out of 5 sets? I would welcome it, for sure.
I wouldn't be against it. Oh, Sabalenka's netted again. I wouldn't be against it. I think best of 5 has that extra special quality to it. It's something I would be up for introducing, but I wouldn't necessarily. I'm happy with how it is as well. So I'll be happy either way.
I mean, I'm not necessarily displeased with how it is, no.
Also, hello, Arnolfo. Lovely to have you in the chat. I need my Spanish translator, I think. Obviously, I think you're talking about Sabalenka, but
yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
let's just say Nurlan will like this guy.
Look at that second serve return position for Pegula. She gets it in, but I think she may have just. Well, I thought she compromised her return position. It didn't matter because Sabalenka ballooned the forehand, and basically, well, her boxer on their feet. She's back in this set. Game on.
Yeah, and as I think that while she, of course, once again stepped into the court for the second serve return, Pegula, it's not like there was a lot of pressure on Aryna here. So
no, it really isn't. No, well,
it wasn't like she was barely hitting it. It wasn't like she was stranded and like she just bombed this forehand 3 meters out of the court anyway. So well, it's a helping hand, it's a lifeline, and let's see. I mean, it will feel very like just disappointing if Pegula doesn't claim the next game right now. But if she does, we have a set again.
I mean, to be honest, I'm going to say this with the with that return that forehand, obviously Sabalenka missed to concede the game. I do feel like that forehand didn't need to be that good because Pegula's return was kind of jammed and she was well out of position in the court. Like Sabalenka just needed to hit it into the space. It's easy to armchair watch though, because there's no way I'd be able to get Sabalenka and there's no way I'd be able to hit a forehand off that Pegula return myself. So yeah, a lot of shenanigans in the chat. So yeah, 4-5, Pegula serving to stay in the first set in this final, but certainly I don't think that a Grand Slam final nerves are really getting to her at this point. Let's see what happens if she ends up in the lead. Not likely at this point, but yeah, she's certainly playing with a lot of belief right now that she can take it to Aryna. It's 4-5. We've had 2 breaks each so far this set. Another two great serves from Pegula to get to 30 love really quickly in this game. It's kind of, at this point, reminding me a little bit of the Australian Open semi-final with Sabalenka and Goff, albeit slightly less messy.
Yeah, I mean, Aryna had this one, like 3 games in a row, right? When she just couldn't put a ball in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it ended rapidly, it just ended all of a sudden with a few weaker forehands from Goff in that 6-5 game when she had the chance to serve it out. And the tiebreak was back to normal already.
Yeah. Sabalenka is changing her racket after hitting a backhand well long. 40 love Pegula. Sabalenka's trying to... I don't think she's in that much of a rush, but yeah. I mean, we've gone from 4 games in a row for Sabalenka to potentially 3 for Pegula.
Yeah, and with that racket switch, I mean, it's clear she wasn't happy with the tension there after not handling that previous Pegula shot. Well, I can't say it's just the racket that made her win the next point, but certainly it's a welcome change for her.
Yeah, she definitely unleashed on a more confident backhand on the return, and then the follow-up backhand was just even better. So yeah, 40-15. So yeah, this is why I said potentially 3 games in a row, because Sabalenka could definitely rescue this still. And she looks like she might be after this point. Again, great backhand return. Pegula, oh no, Pegula just overplayed the forehand.
Yeah, for the best baseline game on the planet, a little weak, but.
Also, I'm not mad at anyone who's not. I'm not mad at anyone for not subscribing. I think you're missing out, but I'm just glad you're here and we can hang out. Slow serve from Pegula, then goes for the backhand at the middle. Sabalenka backhand into the net. Deuce. Sorry, not deuce. Pegula holds for 5-5. Hello, Alex Ballo. You must be new. Nice to have you here. If you are enjoying the video, please give us a like so other people can find the stream. And it's an interesting comment here. So I think, Damien, I'd like you to try and tackle Alex's point.
I mean, it's like the 100th time we've seen this in this match already, where Pegula plays a deep flat shot at the Sabalenka backhand, and she tries to raise it over the net, but she just almost does it, just barely doesn't. Like, it just hits the net, even like the tape. So yeah, my legs are not fully naked. I have hands on.
Yes, I think we're all relieved about that.
I mean, I don't know. There might be some ladies in the chat.
Are you saying that you don't have universal appeal, Damien?
Clearly based on Nurlan, I do. Anyway, there's a question from Brazy for you, which is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, do I think Draper will eventually win a slam? If so, which slam? I mean, that's... Honestly, I think he has the raw potential. I can see a scenario where he does put a run together. But I also am not, but also I'm not super convinced that in a best of 5 in a slam like latter end, he beats Alcaraz and Sinner. He might be able to beat one of them, but I feel like he's going to, I think they're going to match up really well against him. Great return winner from Pegula to get to 30-all.
Yeah, my guess is no. It might happen, but I wouldn't look at this US Open run as something that will be happening time and time again now.
I could see a scenario where he does. I just don't know how likely
3 winnable slams for him, right? Technically, there are 3 slams he could be doing well at.
Yeah, I would go with Wimbledon or the US Open as most likely. He does love the US Open, but also his game does really suit grass.
Yeah, I mean, Australia should work fine as well.
Oh no. Sabalenka has double faulted and she's smacking her foot with her racket. Break point for Pegula. And Schwan is saying that Sabalenka's not projecting confidence. Not right now, she's not.
You'd think so, Jake, yeah, but the US Open, he somehow does extremely well despite the humid conditions every year.
First serve from Sabalenka's in play. Backhand Pegula. Backhand Sabalenka up the line. Good winner.
Yeah, that's another one of these like the forehand, 3 games ago, right? Where she just cleans the line to a point where everyone is expecting it to go out.
I think it's safe to say that regardless of how this goes, we can safely say this is not vintage Sabalenka we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of all over the place, Sabalenka.
It's
There's
kind
a
of
lot of good,
like
there's a lot of bad.
It's Sabalenka's kind of standard level, like her B level. Because we know her A level just hits everyone off the court, but I don't know how often she actually produces that.
She produces it pretty often. She just doesn't really keep it up, right, throughout the match. Like it's not really possible for her to play like this the entire match, at least for the most part. And Pegula, I mean, obviously is a player who can make you a little uncomfortable as well. You've seen all these flat backhand errors from Sabalenka already. Like it's not like she's having it all her way, really.
I mean, that was a great return from Pegula on that previous point to force the error. She's going to get a second serve. Now, let's see how deep in the court she chooses to return here. I mean, to be fair, she's not going too crazy with it. She's keeping both feet inside the baseline, but a foot inside the baseline, but it's only just inside the baseline. Steps in, takes on the backhand up the middle, forehand Sabalenka up the line, backhand sliced by Pegula. It's a drop shot. Sabalenka's going to get there with her counter drop shot. Pegula's going to scoop it up, and Sabalenka's going to skip it out there. We've had that happen so many times. Advantage Sabalenka, who wants some support out there.
Yeah, we've seen that like 5-6 times, and someone else said earlier that Pegula's movement is a liability, and generally I don't think so. I think she's like on a pretty mediocre level when it comes to, let's say, the top players. But on these balls, like when she's trying to chase down something from Sabalenka, like you can see the athletic shortcomings. I mean, yeah, these were all like super gettable. There's so much time, but yeah, she's just not gonna be able to play it back in any reasonable shape because she's just not getting in position. Maybe that's something that Sabalenka can pursue a bit more aggressively. Maybe she can throw in that not only like as a drop volley, not only as something played next to the net, but maybe also a way of. I mean, she tried, I guess, a few times, but mostly hasn't been too successful.
Sabalenka does her best on Jabeur impression by using her football skills to kick away the ball she just double faulted. Like that is something you see typically from Ons sometimes when something doesn't go her way. Missed Ons this tournament. First serve miss from Sabalenka. This is a tight game. Second serve coming up here on Arthur Ashe. By the way, I do like Sean's point he made a couple of minutes ago, which I do want to go back to. Pegula's going to get forehand in play. Forehand cross-court from Sabalenka. Pegula's scrambling the forehand in play. Backhand cross-court Sabalenka is too good. Pegula has no hope of running it down. It's advantage to the Belarusian. And she looks more frustrated and relieved than kind of happy that she won that point. But yeah, it's a little scrappy out there from Sabalenka.
I don't know, Nulan. 2-3.
I'd agree with that. 2-3 years, probably. But still good
We'll
enough.
see if Ons's counter hasn't been ready. I mean, Pegula is clearly the top player right now. But yeah, that's just fabulous.
Yeah, that backhand up the line is brilliant. Shauna, I like to understate things. Yeah, JPEG, stubborn grinder, required traits of a good player. I'd agree with that, Dave. And I also agree with Alex that Pegula is returning out this world. I've commented a lot on how good her returns have been this match. I don't know if that's something you've picked up as well, Damien.
Second serve returns, definitely.
Second serve. I don't think anyone's got any hope on the first serve. Very few can get a play off the Sabalenka first serve. Although Pegula's got a couple of times. Overhits the forehand. Advantage Sabalenka. That's the first point Pegula's given away for a while. The average service game duration is still interesting here to me because, I mean, if Sabalenka grits her way through this, great on her, but you have to wonder how sustainable that's going to be. To keep having to defend on her serve so much. Pegula finally goes long. Sabalenka somehow holds that game. 6-5.
Yeah, big stuff. Pegula again under pressure when we come back. Breaker as well.
Did Pegula have a break point in that game? I don't think she did. I think it was very similar to that Sabalenka service game from the same end, a couple of
How
service games.
about that backhand down the line?
No, you're right. No, she did. No, Sabalenka did save a point at 30-40, but it was the only one she had this game.
And that was the backhand down the line, right?
Was it the backhand down the line?
The winner that barely gets the baseline.
I didn't think that was breakpoint, but
I think it's breakpoint. Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I don't really memorize points. Like you and John are amazing going, oh yeah, that shot at 30-40 in this game. I've got I genuinely don't remember. I just remember the scores. I'm a spreadsheets man.
I mean, I wasn't saying that she's, an amazing mover or anything. I think I was just saying that she's kind of average to me. But yeah, at the same time, I was also saying that these drop shots she's forced to chase down, the drop volleys from Sabalenka, that's when it really comes out that athletically she's not quite there. She lost 3 or 4 points like this already, where she should have been at least 50-50 to win it, and she kind of didn't have a shot whatsoever.
Yeah, she didn't.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if the fact that Saba seems sweatier is worth anything, but we'll see. If it's a 3-hour match, maybe.
So let's see how Pegula handles this. We're 52 minutes into the match. She's trying to serve it to a breaker, having missed opportunities to break in the previous game. Yeah, she can't let that play in her mind. She's got a positive start for 15 love. Sabalenka overhitting the return. Go for the second serve for Pegula. Now, this is where it gets to danger territory because she's been super vulnerable on that second serve. Sabalenka looks dialed in. Goes for the forehand. There you go. Forehand winner off that second serve. Also, there is no way Pegula's first serve percentage is 100%. I think that stat must be wrong on Google.
Yeah, it's 80-ish even. It was close to 80 a couple of games ago, but it's not 100, yeah.
This is not a good time for Pegula's first serve to fail her because Sabalenka is all over that second serve. Case in point, gets a good deep return. Still into a rally though. Goes for the forehand, and yeah, Pegula somehow keeps the rally going. Sabalenka hits right back at her, but the Pegula forehand ends up in the net, 15-30. Sabalenka 2 points away from the set, and now it's Pegula who's not happy. She's not happy now, and she knows she's careful here. She's got to find that first serve. You know, when the first serve dips, it's not good for her. Finds it there. Sabalenka scrabbles it back in play. Forehand short from Pegula. Sabalenka's going to play the backhand cross court. Again, Pegula kind of hitting the service line. Sabalenka getting a little bit deeper. Pegula nets the backhand. She thumps the racket on the ground. She's giving Sabalenka 2 set points. And now she's the one changing her racket.
Well, she smacked it so hard that maybe she had to.
No, string, yeah. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a tentative rally from Pegula, it has to be said.
Yeah, that was one of the first times, I think, because obviously Pegula is kind of up against the machine here, but she's been giving it her all so far. And I think that's kind of the first moment when she can actually say that she, has something to regret.
So the second serve, great return from Sabalenka, short from Pegula. Sabalenka goes on the attack with the backhand, cross-court Pegula. Sabalenka cross-court with the forehand, off balance. Still going, more middle of the court from Pegula. Still going right at Sabalenka, who's going to change direction with the forehand. Backhand, Pegula just drops in, slice from Sabalenka. Backhand again from Pegula, right to the Sabalenka backhand. It goes up the line. Line again from Pegula on the forehand. Backhand, Pegula cross-court. Backhand, Sabalenka. They're trading still cross-court on the backhand. What a rally this is. And Sabalenka goes long on the backhand, trying to change direction on the up line. First set point save from Pegula. The crowd loved that. And that was interesting because, yeah, neither player was really... Sabalenka wasn't really going for it. I don't know whether she's tweeting for the Pegula error. Maybe she wasn't feeling super confident. And then when she does she does go for it, it's overdone.
Yeah, she was given a couple of errors on the previous 2 points. So,
yeah, I can see the one. Longest round of the match there, 19 shots. What a way to save set point. Second set point, first service in for Pegula. It's unreturned. Sabalenka gets it out of court. We're at deuce. Pegula can breathe a little bit again. She's not out the game. But what a time to find the first serve. Sabalenka looking a little disappointed that she's not a setup. Deuce. 5-6. Great stuff from Pegula out wide. Sabalenka scrambling back in play. Forehand up the line for Pegula. Sabalenka's having to run it down. Somehow gets it back. Pegula's going to step in. Take out the backhand. Oh, she's missed it.
Yeah.
In the net. That was right there for Pegula and she knows it.
I've seen something horrible and I was just waiting for your reaction. Bracy, I see, also got to see it a bit earlier than you. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I've got my tablet with the screen on over your face, so I can't actually see your reactions.
That's good.
Another set point for Sabalenka to go on the attack forward. What a return off the Pegula first serve. Sabalenka lent into the forehand, nets it. Another set point saved by Pegula. That was there for Sabalenka. She had a great return off her first serve. That was her best return off the first serve I've seen for a while. And then, yeah, teeing up the forehand for the winner wasn't going to cut it. First serve long from Jessica Pegula. Second serve. This is going to be Sabalenka's opportunity here to take it on. Goes for the backhand up the line. Great return again. Now she drop shots Pegula, who's going to try and run and scoop it up cross court. Sabalenka's going to run for the pass. She gets it. What a running passing shot from Sabalenka. Another set point. Number 4.
Yeah. And Pegula again looks like a bit of a cow and ice chasing that dropper. So maybe this is really a thing for Aryna to potentially expose a bit more often than just kind of once every 2 games, and more in situational shots than on purpose. This time, of course, on purpose very much.
Pegula's got the first serve. Oh, unreturned. That's a 4th set point saved. We're back to deuce. Comes up clutch, Pegula. Maybe Sabalenka didn't do enough with the return, but at least she found that first. Pegula found that first serve. First serve Pegula up the tee. It's a let. Reset at deuce at 5-6. Serves up the tee. And it's unreturned. Now we've got our first game point for Jessica Pegula. Tie break point. What are we going to get? Has Jake seen something that I haven't yet? I haven't seen... I'm not looking at Damien right now. Vantage Pegula. First serve into the net. That's not what she needed. Because whenever she gets a second serve, I'm expecting Sabalenka to win the point. Just clears the net. Sabalenka on the attack, pushing Pegula back. Now she goes inside out on the forehand. Backhand Pegula on the defense. Forehand Sabalenka. That gives Pegula the short ball to go cross court. Cross court Sabalenka pushing Pegula back now. Now Sabalenka goes backhand cross court. Has she gone long? No, she hasn't, but she's at the net to defend. What a volley from Sabalenka. There we go. She saved the game point back at deuce.
And yeah, that's good to know, Bracy. I wasn't aware of it, but yeah, Carousel apparently an even bigger legend.
Sure, that's a little bit out of nowhere, but okay. Net points one, Sabalenka 92%, Pegula 25. You'd expect better from a doubles player as good as Pegula, but I guess we'll have to see. Deuce, second serve. Again, expecting Sabalenka to win this point off a second serve. It's a double fault. That's an easy point for Sabalenka. A 5th set point coming up. What a times double fault from Jessica Pegula. Her first double fault of the match could not have been worse timed. Actually, no, worse timing would be on set point. And another fault off a let. Fault off the top of the net from Pegula, who's struggling to get net clearance on the serve. She gets it on that. Backhand Sabalenka on the attack. Slice from Pegula, just clears it. Sabalenka's going to come in and slice. It's a drop shot. Pegula, tentative, does not run it down. And once again, Sabalenka exposes the Pegula movement with a brilliant drop shot. She gets the set 7-5. Wow. I mean, what a set.
And again, it's a drop shot. It's how Pegula is moving towards it. That's really disallowing her from continuing the point. Yeah, I mean, Frida. I mean, I was just talking. I was talking about the drop shot, for the last 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, moving forward she's looking horrible.
Yeah, she needs to be more
Was
prepared
that
for something.
specifically, from Aryna to
Let-
kind of expose
I'm
that? Probably.
not answering that question.
Well, I mean, if we're eating them or something, I don't know. I mean, what does it mean sharing?
Going back to the actual tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that set. To me, this is gonna sound crazy because Sabalenka, when she's on, is out hitting Pegula, and she was a breakup in the set. Probably more meaningful break advantage that she had than Pegula did because it was an early break and could easily be pegged back if Sabalenka improved. So both of them kind of deserve the set because Sabalenka is able to outplay Pegula when she's on. However, Pegula was only getting broken when she was having a dip on serve, and the rest of the time she was very much in Sabalenka's. She was on the return games for Sabalenka serve. When she was finding her first serves, it was difficult for Sabalenka to get much of a read on it. So yeah, it's weird. Like in a baseline rally, Sabalenka has the weapons to outshine Pegula, but she's also making all of these errors. And if Pegula had kept it, if Pegula wasn't so vulnerable on second serve, she could well have won that set. It's a weird one. It's justifiably close, I think, but kind of wish it went to a tie break.
Yeah, but that was probably the game when we saw the most amount of nerves from Jess as well. The double faults, the two early errors that kind of made this game go longer at the very start of it. And also, obviously just the fact that moving forward when Sabalenka is trying to bring her in, she's not making all these she's still getting the ball back in play for the most part, but she's just not allowing herself to continue the point really in these spots. And it's getting more and more unaffordable the more Sabalenka is using it against her.
Well, she's not needing to so far because her serving is so good to start this set. She's at 30 love. Yeah, Dave, you're putting some good points about the challenges tennis players have about moving forward. My question to you, Dave, to the chat, and to you, Damien, is who are the best players on tour at moving forwards?
I mean, it's usually just the fastest and most athletic guys, right? I mean, so you still have to go like Dimon or Alcaraz, I guess.
Yeah. What about the women's side?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm so used to talking about ATP that
No, but I kind of meant both, but like Alcaraz, Dimon are the obvious answers.
I don't know. Like, do we have that many? I don't know. Like, I'm struggling for answers because I don't feel like we have the drop shot used all that often either. Compared to the ATP side of things. So even if we have Coco Gauff being obviously probably the best in terms of raw speed, does she actually track down drop shots exceptionally well? I mean, you don't really see it that often, I guess. It's more, it's easier to point out players who don't do it well, I guess, rather than the ones who do. But I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't really know what to say.
Pegula actually just won a positive point there. She kind of draws an error from Sabalenka moving out for the forehand. It's still 40-15, but still continuing to go really well continue to convince herself that she's in this. And Sabalenka whacks a backhand into the net. Also, Sean is telling us about Pegula's win-loss record at slams after using the first set is 6-28. Ouch.
I mean, it's probably a normal win-loss record when losing the first set, right? Like for the
Yeah.
most part, when
There's
you're
no-
losing the first set, you're just weaker.
Could you imagine being a player with a positive win-loss record after losing the first set? I mean, no one.
I think in like
It'd be a
specific
nightmare.
years that has happened to players sometimes. Obviously, we're talking about like gold level status, but yeah, over the course of your career, that's not really maintainable.
Yeah, it's not. Especially at the very beginning and the very end of your career. So I'm just checking my phone's working. Yeah, there we go. Right, Pegula's time to serve. Some good names being thrown out by Dave as people of women who are good at moving forwards. Iga and Mukova. Probably should have thought of Mukova, to be honest. Unreturnable serve to start from Pegula. Again, she's kind of relying on that first serve. Kind of runs her first serve to keep Sabalenka at bay. What do we reckon? Do we think this match is gonna stay as competitive as we saw in that first set?
We might be one break away from it, like just completely, dissolving and Sabalenka just running away with it. Who knows?
Well, it might well depend on Pegula's first serve percentage, because that's a backhand winner for the return on a second serve for Sabalenka, 15-all. Sean is giving us stats on Sabalenka's win-loss record after losing the first set of slams is 13-16. That's close to 50-50.
That is pretty insane.
I dread to think what Swiatek's is.
Do you have a picture of how Sabalenka was 5-6 years ago?
Oh, great pass from Sabalenka.
Like a mental picture of how her game was. I mean,
yeah, I think I'm hoping
like,
means in terms of like how her game has progressed in the last 5 or 6 years.
I mean, I don't think it's really been ever like twisted around completely in terms of the style, right? It's just like, being more consistent, being better mentally for sure than back in the day. Definitely playing with a bit more margin when she wants to. Maybe like the overall, set of abilities added to the Thunder's power as well. The serve, obviously, that's something that's like night and day.
15-40, Pegula's forehand comes off the top of that and well out.
10-11 from Swiatek, also not positive, but pretty close.
That's interesting. I didn't think it would be that close, but that goes to show how good Iga and Aryna are. 30-40, unreturnable serve to save the first break point for Pegula.
Yeah, I mean, Sabalenka has matches like the one against Alexandrova this event,
Fair.
She loses the first two, and then there's no match really after that.
Yeah,
and
Alexandrova couldn't really maintain the level, and neither could Pegula apparently, because she's just double faulted and thrown her racket, and suddenly Sabalenka's a set and a break up.
Yeah, this is a big test for her. I mean, she's been kind of for Pegula. I mean, she has to show the fight to give, because she's getting more frustrated. She's getting kind of down on herself.
She cannot mentally check out here, Pegula. If she does, it's all over. She knows Sabalenka can be vulnerable on serve. She was in most of Sabalenka's service games this match, particularly towards the end of the last set. Oh, again, very short first serve from Sabalenka. Great return from Pegula, who they're now trading backhands at the minute. Still going. Sabalenka got the line. Forehand cross court from Pegula to the Sabalenka forehand, which lifted up. Backhand. Oh, Pegula went for too much on the backhand. Inside out. 15-love Sabalenka. Pegula kind of showing she's still willing to compete, but she is not being as clean and capitalizing. I'm not willing to call it Graham set match brazy until it's a double break. Unreturnable serve from Sabalenka. They love. But I do think that Sabalenka is now looking very likely to finally be getting her hands on that US Open trophy. Missed the first serve. Yeah, Sabalenka, of course, being agonizingly close to a US Open final in 2022, kind of also in 2021 against Fernandez. gets the US Open final in 23, loses to Goff.
Well, best time to break back is immediately, says Dave. But, well, Pegula did not really think that, apparently. She didn't really push for it at all. And yeah, the last 5-10 minutes from Peggy have been rough, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jake. Sabalenka aces out the game. We're changing into set and 3-love. Nerline, to answer your question, to be honest, when Iga loses in tournaments, the same players are not always still in the tournament when she goes out. So, I mean, this time round, I switched allegiance to Mukova. That was one like my heart wanted to see win from here, but like because it's never the same people, apart from occasionally Sabalenka or Rybakina when she's healthy. Yeah, it's difficult to have a standard person to switch to. So, and let's be honest, I'm an admirer of good tennis, and when Sabalenka is in full flow, you can't help but sit back and admire it and just go, you know what, the best tennis wins. That being said, I would like to see a little bit more success from Rybakina. She can get herself.
And yeah, Dave, if that's what she did, kind of like speeding up between the serves, that is smart. Yeah. Obviously, if you're down, if you're having a rough patch, you kind of want to go to the towel after every point, just delay it as much as possible. Framed burlap sack? You mean this?
I don't know what he's on about.
I don't know what a burlap sack is. I also don't know what this is. I think it's just a mirror, to be honest.
You don't know what it is.
I'm not at my own place. So.
That makes sense. All right. Pegula serving now.
I can stand up and tell you if it's a mirror, and yes, it is a mirror. So that's all I can really tell you about this piece of furniture. I can call my uncle and ask, but probably not worth it at 11:30 p.m.
Okay, Sabalenka misses a return off a second serve, but that was a bit of a let-off for Pegula there. I mean, Damien, what do you think Pegula needs to do on second serve? Because at the minute, Sabalenka's just eating it for breakfast, like a tiger.
It's not much to do, you know. You can start risking more, but I mean, will be coming in. There's also going to be errors from Sabalenka on the second serve return, so
not that many though.
Maybe try to surprise her with the placement sometimes. You know, try to guess if she's gonna be lining up for the run around, or
is it worth trying to kick it a bit higher? Get a bit more shoulder height?
I don't know if she can. Sabalenka is just gonna like crush it anyway, right?
Maybe, but it's hard to do from higher up, right? I mean, it wouldn't work against Iga. It might work against Aryna.
Yeah, Dave with an interesting one there for sure. Needs to hit her second serve and get ready to defend.
Yeah, like just do you know what? That's probably good. That's probably a lesson that I need to learn.
Very universal, definitely. If your second serve is weak enough, you might not be able to do it. But okay, yeah, and okay, yeah, okay. No spoilers, but Jesus.
Double fault? Let me guess.
No, actually no.
Well, she's missed the first serve. So if it's not a double fault, I can't think of what would gain that level of frustration from someone watching. Oh, yeah, frustration from Pegula, but that was actually just a good return from Sabalenka off a second serve. Just unbelievable striking. And that's what it is with the pace of the second serve. Sabalenka's all over it. I don't know what Pegula's average speed on second serves are. trying to defend another break point here. Goes up the line, slice from Sabalenka on the defense, back forehand up the line from Pegula. Sabalenka again into the net on the defensive shot, and it is deuce. So good save from Pegula there. I think she is saving more break points than she's conceding, or about as many, but she's just currently bringing up too many. That's the big problem.
Yeah, but that's a nice reaction on the break point. Just needs one more point here, and we might still have a set.
Yeah, we're on an unreturnable serve. So yeah, she needs to. Yeah, I agree with Dave that it needs to be. She needs to hold badly, and well, let's see how it goes. Second serve coming up. And Sabalenka goes deep on the return. Pegula actually a bit more ready for that with the backhand. Goes up the middle. Forehand Sabalenka gets Pegula running around. Great cross-court forehand from Pegula. Forces the error on the run from Sabalenka. That was actually the best response to a Sabalenka return on the second serve that Pegula's had for a while, and she holds. That could be very, very important for the American to keep this match somewhere near competitive.
And that's another one of these awesome forehand counters cross. I mean, she's just so good when the ball is low, and yeah, she can just play off the opponent's pace. And to your question from about a minute ago, her average serve speed on the second serve is 81 miles.
Oh, that's not high. Like, I think that's probably about right for a WTA player, but it's not amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Alex, I am, absolutely. And 5 a.m., there's the Shanghai final. And I don't know, I haven't actually checked when Matsui is playing, but I would hope it's like maybe around the same time and I can do a double feature. I don't know. But yeah, I am pumped for that match for sure. I hope it's not going to be, because I'm hoping to wake up for the Shanghai final and then probably go to sleep. Then 10:30, I have to be on the courts here in Szczecin. So, well, it's going to be a tough morning, that's for sure. But if Matsui is more or less around the time of the Shanghai final, that would be best for me.
Dave, Jessie doing drop shot lord combos. I think she was trying to do that earlier and it wasn't working.
There were He's actually playing it late in the day, but that's not bad either. It might be by the time I wake up again. Drop shot lob combos. I mean, she first has to be in a position in a rally where she can drop shot, which is already tough against Sabalenka.
Yeah, she's just better trying to get errors out of her at this rate, which, she's still giving. She got one there to take it to 15 all.
Shanghai is better than Austin, apparently.
Backhand. Oh, looped from Sabalenka. Pegula's got a shoulder height to deal with. Again, being pushed back somehow, getting the balls in court deep, and Sabalenka nets the backhand. This could be interesting. 15-30.
Yeah, you can see it's not a rally where like Pegula would be able to play a drop shot lob combo, but she wins it somehow.
I think she's wins it because she was somehow getting balls back deep and keeps on asking Sabalenka to hit another shot. And what's going on outside your house? First serve into the net from Sabalenka.
It's a very noisy street, that's for sure.
Second serve.
I mean, I don't mind. If I want to sleep, I'll sleep.
Oh, Sabalenka's overplayed the forehand. She went for too much. It's 15-40. Break back points for Jessica Pegula.
Yeah, Pegula just inside the baseline, not giving her that much time. Not playing it that deep either, but it was enough.
I mean, she knows, like, the tactics that she's had so far, Pegula, she knows that they are keeping her in the match. They are working a little bit.
Just slightly less nervy in the 5-6 game in the first set, and she would have been still in this. She might still be in this if she breaks here, obviously.
Yeah, that first break point was saved by Sabalenka with a forehand that was just too damn good. Like Pegula was having to run backwards for it. She was too far in the court and to the right. Like Sabalenka was very smart about where she put it.
Yeah, children are watching.
I know it's the worst language I've used on the stream. Great return from Pegula though. And Sab gets the error from Sabalenka off a great return, and Pegula breaks back, and she's still in this final. 2-3.
Appreciate the fight. Appreciate the effort. That's for sure. Because like last game, it seemed like she's about to give up. She's about to just fall over and just allow Sabalenka to take the win, but not quite.
No, she's. I mean, and that's the thing, because the whole question was, how is Pegula going to handle the situation of being in a Grand Slam final? And the answer is she's decent. And well, the answer is that pretty well. Like she's keeping on fighting, and maybe because she knows she's the underdog.
She had issues, 5-6 especially. Lots of short balls that she's missed, but for the most part, I mean, she's executing her game. I mean, she's not really the limitations that she has. I mean, there's not much that she can do about them now in a Grand Slam final, but she's doing okay managing them. I definitely don't think it's like a horrible performance that's gonna scar Pegula for life or something like that. No, definitely not.
No, I think she's now going to be confident in her ability to get back to this stage and to actually maybe even compete well enough to win one of these. Could still be today.
If you win 2 WTA 1000s, I mean, obviously you can win a slam as well.
She's won 3.
I don't know, but
yeah, she's won 3, depending on whether or not you count.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that one. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it wasn't the highest quality field, but
yeah, that's why I forgot about it. It just doesn't
probably wasn't anymore.
What's happening here? I mean, first of all, Pegula finds this surprise drop shot, and well, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but the next point is kind of wild as well.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm assuming everyone else has seen it, so let's see what we get here. Pegula gets a drop shot, and Sabalenka tries to run it down, never hits it. Good grief, Dave! Your tactics are working. The drop shot is working.
Yeah. It's another drop shot, and she's like playing them in the most unexpected moments, really. Or rather, maybe there aren't unexpected moments for most players, but like the entire match, she wasn't going for it, and Sabalenka both times just completely stumped for a while. Second time.
Oh, what a redirect from Pegula! It's a redirected winner, 40 love.
Yeah, Pegula's very helpful to get a quick clean game here.
Yeah, it definitely would help her out a lot, because she did have 40 love in an earlier service game and then didn't serve it out. Puts the first serve into the nets, and now the real test. How is she going to deal with a second serve? Double faults. 40-15. Okay. This is a little bit tense from Pegula. Not a... she wants to get that first serve in.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, Dave, that it's not about double, but I mean, Pegula at 40. Yeah, I'm just not super confident she's gonna get the game now. So
Sabalenka goes for the chance on the backhand on the second serve, and Pegula nets the return. Pegula nets the follow-up with the backhand cross court, 40-30. Not ideal. 40-30. Can Pegula close this game out? She got herself into a really good position there. Couple of errors. Gets the first serve she needs. Follows up with the forehand cross court. Deep. Bit of a risky one. Sabalenka's deep cross court as well. We're still trading cross court. Pegula now changes direction up the line. Now she's going to go right back at Sabalenka with the backhand. Sabalenka just clears it with hers. Pegula has to slice. Sabalenka's there with the backhand cross court. Pegula's still on the defense now. Then tries to redirect the backhand. Oh, somehow that finds the court. And now she's got Sabalenka where she wants to go back behind with the backhand. Sabalenka's going to scramble it. Somehow lands in. Forehand cross court for Pegula. Sabalenka goes on the attack with her forehand. And Pegula nets. Oh, Sabalenka dug us out of trouble in that rally. And that paid off.
Honestly, a few spots where Pegula could have gone for the drop shot again.
Yeah. 20
He's
shots.
dating Austin. I doubt it, but he definitely was
He'd have to be
explaining
married for
it
Dick, so probably not.
quite passionately.
We're back at deuce here. Pegula under pressure. Sabalenka's going for the forehand. It comes off the net. So Pegula's going to scramble for it. Goes cross court. Right, Sabalenka. Sabalenka misses up the line.
If you don't know
Advantage
Tracy
Pegula.
Austin Nolan, you should log off the stream.
What? Yeah, that could have gone horribly wrong for Pegula. Sabalenka, just a bit fortunate. Sabalenka missed the passing shot.
You know, great tennis player. Most importantly, the mom of Brandon Hort.
Advantage
Who beat
Pegula.
the US Open finalist 2 years ago on this court. Who beat one of the US Open finalists 2 years ago on this court. Anyway, well, maybe not on this court, at this venue. I don't remember which court it was. But
Casper Ruud?
No, Taylor Fritz.
Oh. Okay. I know you meant. I think you meant the US Open final from 2 years ago. By the way, the Sabalenka backhand's gone long, guys. 3-3. Pegula might be relieved she held there. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, Brazy. I think we are all about 45 seconds ahead of Nick. I mean, there's probably aliens in there's some aliens like outside of the Milky Way that have already seen this point. And in Britain, like, I don't know, like you guys left Europe and that's what you get. I mean, that's what I'm gonna say.
Hey, look, I wasn't consulted on that.
Was it worth it?
I didn't think it was a good idea at the time. I knew it would affect all tennis coverage.
That wasn't stated somewhere on the ballot, you know. It didn't say that.
There was a lot of things that weren't stated on that ballot, Damien.
I guess, yeah.
Sabalenka, we've got a net cord for Pegula to pick up, and Sabalenka takes the overhead out the air. That they love. Jake and Dave are on about my speed, I think, because they're reacting after I am.
Yeah, it's tough to say what Jake is reacting to, though, right? Could be many different things.
Oh, that's true. Depends what else he's looking at.
Whereas like Brazy, sometimes I was able.
I think it was that shot from Pegula, maybe. What a pass on the backhand.
Yeah, I think Jake is probably a bit faster than you as well.
Maybe he's watching on another site that I refuse to use on principle.
Maybe.
It would be legal. I just don't want to support that organization.
Wow. What's the reasoning?
I'm not the biggest fan of gambling.
In that sense, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, would you be supporting that though?
Oh, great volley from Pegula to 30-all.
How do you know, Jake, if you're ahead if I don't react?
I'd rather be behind. It's just a principle thing. Jake says he's ahead of Damien.
Wow, and Pegula is like ripping it right now.
I mean, what's she got to lose?
Well, the US Open title, for starters.
I mean, she's already behind, so.
Oof.
Yeah, she really is going for her shots here. What a forehand.
See, it's always quicker, faster, bigger in the US. Everything is better in the US.
I'm usually behind. I'm usually ahead of people in the US. It's a bit of a hit and miss, actually. But yeah, this was never a problem when I had Amazon Prime.
But yeah, this breakpoint, this will be huge. Might really start Sabalenka. Might really get Sabalenka to start questioning her. I don't know what, even belief and her life choices.
Okay, that could be interesting. I'm interested to see what I get. I know the first serve was wildly out, and the second serve just clears the net. Great every time from Pegula. Sabalenka goes cross court, slice up the line from Pegula. We've got Sabalenka into the net with a forehand slice. So yeah, Pegula's our break up at the set, and the crowd love it. 3-4, 4-3 Pegula. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Is this going to be a repeat of last year's US Open final where the opponent takes advantage of a not amazing Sabalenka, takes it to a third? Jake, I think I'm thinking of a stream that I think Tom and Jack use, which is Bet365, which is actually a company that's local to where I live, but still not gonna use their product. What is going on? Like the day they start playing tennis in Erlan is the day I think they'll start commentating on it. But
I used to say actually something like this, that like maybe if evolution went a bit differently, maybe another animal would have taken our place. I mean, we only are here really because of one thing, which is opposable thumbs. And that's like literally the only reason why we're here. So yeah, I guess it's not technically impossible.
I think this look, we're not going to get into the biology here. This discussion of biology, I would say that there's probably a few other things that are different. But right, Damien, how confident are you that Pegula wins the set from here?
0, but I've already watched the first point, so 0.5.
Yeah, she's definitely going for it now. Like she's moved on from I think she's just hitting more confidently now. Definitely. Maybe she's just decided that going for it is her only option, whatever that looks like, be it risking a drop shot or just absolutely swinging through the forehands.
Yeah, the drop shots were wild. I mean, because that didn't come when she was like still down. Like that came when she just restored the break, right? And she just goes for 2 drop shots on the first 2 points of the next game. It's like pretty insane. Yeah.
I mean, Dave's asking similar questions. I'm not entirely sure Pegula can roll through this match. Not with the opponent that she's got. Oh, that's a wonderful return. Somehow Pegula gets it back in court. Now she's got a drop shot to deal with again. Lobs it. Sabalenka's going to go right at Pegula. And that's fair. She could put it anywhere she wanted and got that point, 30-15.
Yeah, speaking of the Pegula scrambling, moving forward into the court, that's again...
Yeah, I mean, like, again, the Sabalenka drop shot. Sabalenka drop shot catching her out a little bit. And we've got more confident hitting from Sabalenka here, forcing error from Pegula. 30-all. And yeah, I mean, at the minute, Sabalenka's just in too many of Pegula's service games, and that's why this break advantage does not feel super significant. I kind of want this to go 3, though. It's a great serve from Pegula, follows up with a cross-court forehand, trading. Now Pegula changes direction. Sabalenka nets the backhand, 40-30.
To me, the Alien franchise just dies after Aliens, though, guys. Like, literally, the second movie is also so good, but then they just totally like retcon the ending at the beginning of part 3, and they just kind of tell every single fan to just bugger off, and that's what I do. And well, it might go free Swarna, but it still feels like Sabalenka can like kind of raise her level at some point, you know, for 5 minutes and clinch it from here. I mean, I don't know. As I said, I don't really have all that much confidence that this will last for Pegula, but of course it would be amazing if it does.
I don't think Pegula realized she didn't double fault. I don't think Pegula's realized she's double faulted.
Yeah, it was something weird going on there for sure. I wasn't really able to tell what exactly happened.
Because she looked like she was getting ready to serve and then realized, oh wait, I just lost that point. Yeah, we're into a bit of a neutral rally. Sabalenka overplays the inside-out backhand. Advantage Pegula. Yeah, Jake, I think that she thought that first serve was a let, because I did.
Well, that either tells you how focused she is and kind of forgot about that, or that tells you how nervy she is. Two things.
It's one of those two. Sabalenka's kind of defending against Pegula here and eventually breaks down. And Pegula holds for 5-3. Okay. The Althrash Stadium is absolutely going crazy, guys. They want an American champion. Even the Brit in the crowd, Lewis Hamilton. Here we go. Yeah, and here we go. And, you know, let's face it, even Iga's best friend, Courtney Cox, is approving.
Iga has so many best friends now. Michaela Schifrin.
That is true.
Taylor Swift, Zendaya.
I wonder if she's still friends with Kaya Juvan. I haven't heard her haven't.
Oh, yeah, Kaya Juvan, right? Yeah, I mean, Kaya Juvan, I guess, doesn't really play main tour events. Maja Chwalińska as well. Maja Chwalińska.
Oh, the Polish player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, someone else who doesn't play many main tour events.
Yeah. No, never mind. I was just laughing at the chat, basically.
I know. The guys are on fire today. Let's be honest. You're all keeping us entertained here, and hopefully we're keeping you entertained as well.
She doesn't look that horrible, but indeed she has had some work done, definitely.
30-15, Sabalenka, serving pretty well. She wants the pressure, or Pegula under as much pressure as possible, try and serve to try and secure the set. Oh, it's a let, I think, on that second serve, because Sabalenka's taking the ball out of her pocket. Pegula's stepping in to receive. Second serve delivery. Pegula backhand, little bit jammed, runs for the forehand and out of position. That was the shot that I thought Sabalenka should have played when she got broken in the first set. Would have been when she got broken back, I think, 5-4.
Get ready for the shot that Sabalenka never should have played in her entire life.
I don't think any player should have played that in their life. Yeah, that was she was a little bit of no man's land when she picked up that backhand. I can see why in that moment, because like she was probably getting ready to play a regular backhand. Second serve. 40-30. Second, Pegula stepping in. Backhand, long. Changing ends at 5-4. Yeah, I mean, it's not particularly relevant to the match, Nerland, but I'll answer the question anyway. I think Iga actually handles her losses fine. So probably most players, because I think I've definitely heard Iga's explanation for some of her losses and gone, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, you're probably asking the wrong person, mate. So, Pegula, 5-4. I'm going to ask you this question now because I'm pretty confident that you haven't seen it yet. How confident are you that she serves this set out? Given Sabalenka's been in every single service game, I'm thinking it's going to be a massive battle.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, it's a lottery at this stage. Like, she can just throw out the first two returns and then there's no game really. But yeah, I mean, I'm not super confident she's going to do it. In fact, this might as well be the most important game of the match in many ways. So this is really crunch time, and this is really the game that everyone should just drop everything they're doing right now, and go for it.
Drop what you're doing, turn the match on, turn our stream on for our thoughts on what's going to happen. Because this is it. This is going to decide how competitive this final is going to be. Because I feel, do you know what Dave's just said? Was about to say that if Jessica Pegula doesn't hold, she's probably losing the match very quickly. Like, I think if Pegula gets broken here, Sabalenka wins the set 7-5.
Sworn has been very down on Sabalenka the last 20 minutes or so. I mean, I guess during that time, Sabalenka won 1 out of 6 games, so it's not unreasonable.
Great pleasure.
And that was also the last game, so she actually also lost 5 in a row, so it's definitely not unreasonable.
Oh, that's a rally of the match right there that I've just seen. I know you saw it ages ago. I'm surprised you didn't react more strongly to it. That was a heck of a lot of fun to watch. But it's Sabalenka who gets it in the end. Both players out of position, but it's Sabalenka who copes with it better than Pegula. Love 15. One hour 42 on the clock. I mean, like, look, this has been absolute battle here. Second serve coming up for Pegula. Delivers it. Backhand Sabalenka to the backhand of Pegula. Backhand Sabalenka up the line. Gets Pegula on the run. And yeah, the forehand out of court. Love 30. This is going how we thought it might go. This is going to, if Pegula gets herself out of trouble here, I will be impressed. The Sabalenka return's been on point these last 2 points.
Yeah, she's been, I mean, Pegula has been, playing so well, playing so aggressively, but like you still feel like, okay, Sabalenka gets a few returns in play and actually plays, I don't know, reliable, solid, high margin shots, and she's still very much in this.
Yeah, Pegula's the one who's taking margin off at the minute. I'm seeing an insane rally going on right now. Pegula, yeah, overplays the backhand, love 40. Not ideal for the American. All clearly under pressure, and it's a blink and you'll miss it game. Tension in the Sabalenka camp. These 2 sets could be very, very interesting, almost opposite in some ways, but still the same result. Great forehand from Pegula, getting Sabalenka in the defense and yields an error. 15-40, 1 break point saved. Schwarner still thinks Sabalenka's losing the set. That is really negative. 15-40. Second break point. Pegula delivers the first serve. Sabalenka returns actually really good clips the baseline deep from Pegula. Now they're exchanging cross courts. Sabalenka really short on her forehand. Pegula goes into the corner with hers. She's going to have a lob to come. Does she need to play? Yes, it does, because it somehow has the baseline from Sabalenka. And Sabalenka overplays the backhand up the line and lets Pegula off, given she was trying to hit into space. 30-40. Pegula probably deserved the point, but Sabalenka was so close to digging herself out of trouble.
Yeah, Sabalenka did so well to stay in the point, but then she's like, I gotta hit this. I gotta hit this backhand line.
Frustrated. Another break coming up. I think I've just seen the score change over. So what's going wrong for Jessie? Oh, high risk shot from Sabalenka pays off on the inside out.
Yeah, the last 2 points were very similar. Sabalenka isn't really in control from the get-go, but then she gets this opportunity for a big-time shot, makes one of them, I guess. So I guess maybe the percentages were in her favor.
And yeah, I'm still like at this point, I am very much seeing Sabalenka see this out. I think it could be the score could be 7-5, 7-5. Just by the sort of momentum that's in the match right now.
Yeah, that's probably the most. I mean, that's probably the expected scoreline right now. But of course, the previous set 5-all, we had Sabalenka struggling a little bit. She had to save that one break point. That's when things kind of unraveled for Pegula only. This has been so much different.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Sabalenka's level compared to the Cincinnati final is not as high, but it still feels like Pegula has to play her best to even have a hope.
Sorry, this is completely random. Did you see the Nick Kyrgios drama today?
No, I'm going to be honest. I haven't been on. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you, Damien. I haven't been on Twitter since about 9:30 this morning.
Okay, you didn't then, yeah. Because he basically posted a poll and he was asking who is going to win the US Open final, Sinner or Fritz. And someone posted a photo of him and Anna Kalinskaya. And Nick commented second serve.
Wow.
Yeah, and people are very angry. I think even maybe to a bigger extent than they should be, although, I don't know. There's a lot of comments like, ESPN and you still hired this guy or something like that. And well,
it wasn't, that wasn't the most mature response. To be kind.
It's interesting. I'm not really sure, what their relationship is like after all these years. I think it kind of depends on how she would treat it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Unless they're like on good terms and kind of she would laugh about it herself.
Yeah, I guess you just don't know.
Yeah, I could imagine that, but from what we know, it doesn't seem like that would be the case.
I think I'd rather talk about the tennis, to be honest. If Sabalenka looks like she's...
Oh yeah, of course. I just saw some, follow-up to this. He's still arguing with somebody.
Oh, he always is. I mean, surprised Scott's not got involved.
Maybe he also hasn't seen any Twitter since 9:30 a.m.
Yeah, I'm using Twitter a lot less now. I'm not using it less, but trying to, have a healthier relationship with it. Someone else who needs someone who's got a very healthy relationship at the minute with at least with her serve is Sabalenka, who serves that out quite easily. One double fault, but yeah, Pegula, it's all on her racket now.
Nurran, don't say this about Nick. I mean, he's gonna be just, he's sitting here. How can you do that to him?
There's been so many times when people have been complaining about Nick in the chat, in our chat, and I'm like, no, they're not talking about me. It's fine. It's very frustrating, though, how many unpleasant individuals I know of or have met called Nick, and I'm like, yeah, I can't.
From Nick, there's only one letter to.
Yes, that's true. Actually, take that off. Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, at least you're not called that, which people are as well. So, all the Richards in the world. Hello.
Indeed.
Anyway, yeah, 5-6, really important. Lots of pressure.
Yeah, we can clearly Damien is checked out of this match because he's very much like if Damien was on court, he'd be like one of those kids who have been trying to get an autograph with a giant ball just before someone is about to, with potentially one game away from the end of the match. He would be there. But Pegula's got something else to say there, and she started well enough with the first point of the service game, 15-love. Maybe I'm overselling that a little bit, but those kids were pretty much giving the win of the match when that was happening. I'm glad that doesn't seem to think about it. They sort of dealt with that after a few days. Second serve, short from Pegula, gets a backhand, just clears the net. Sabalenka just too good with that forehand cross court, 15-all. And yeah, Brazy pointing out 71 miles, second serve. And yeah, it's that second serve weakness that Pegula's struggling with. Like, it is getting punished. Like, Brazy, you may as well be sitting in my seat, to be honest. Probably do a better job as well. Great return from Sabalenka. I think she's going to try and take this match by the scruff of its neck. Actually, come to think of it, I think the 2 Grand Slam finals that she's won, she had to serve it out. Because that's how we got all those crazy amount of championship points.
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be less pressure on Sabalenka if she's the one receiving for the championship. And she's going to be in a minute, because that is a let off from Pegula on the forehand, kind of really awkward shot. Championship point for US Open redemption for Aryna Sabalenka. 2 championship points coming up on the Jessica Pegula serve. Let's react to this moment together. Here we go. First serve from Pegula up the tee. Forehand cross court. Sabalenka's on the run with the forehand. Pushes Pegula back. Backhand for Sabalenka. They're still going up the middle. Pegula's going up the line with her backhand. Sabalenka slices into the net. Championship point saved. And Sabalenka still cannot get a Grand Slam title on her first championship point. Maybe one day that will come. She's got a long career ahead of her. Who knows? She's still only 26. Second championship point coming up. 30-40. Pegula serves on the body. Backhand on the defense on the return from Sabalenka, and almost caught out by going back behind. Sabalenka can tee off on the forehand. Pegula's anticipated it well. It's long! Sabalenka's on the ground. She is finally the US Open champion. 2024 season new women's winner. And deservedly Sabalenka. She didn't look anything other than a champion for 2 weeks. As Brazy is saying in the chat, just way too good. Pegula fought her heart out. She had a chance for the first set. She definitely had a chance for the second set. But let's face it, the result we got was what we expected. Just maybe, but it was still pretty tough. And there's the relief on Sabalenka's face. Damien, I'll let you come in on that performance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she was the better player in like patches. It was still a journey. It was not easy for her to pick up this win, definitely not. So I think mentally she deserves a lot of credit for it. The break that she got at 4-5, that was kind of a good example of her actually putting in more effort to stay in the point, to maybe force Jessie to be a bit more on the front foot in that very moment, which was obviously worked out very well for her. So it's a fantastic win. She didn't really face an opponent that was going to be as good as her, just strictly tennis-wise, but I mean, not many are. And even though it got really tight in some moments, she still delivered. Obviously, she didn't have it all that easy. She had 5 games that she lost in a row in the second set. So to still take that set, I obviously think that she just fulfilled, whatever the goal was for today. Basically, after Cincinnati, everyone was expecting her to pick up this title. Last year, everyone was expecting her to pick up this title, and she's finally done it. So, dream fulfilled, goal achieved, and that's really all there is to say here, I think, about her performance.
Yeah, and she's with her team now, and they're super proud of her. What a moment. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, it was an interesting match because the points, Sabalenka was a bit scrappy, but she handled it so much better than she did last year. And she, like, when she was teeing off, there was very little Pegula could do. There were points where Pegula was the better player legitimately. Like she played, there were passages of that match where she was playing really, really well. But I think at the end of the day, it was the Sabalenka return that was probably key to keeping the pressure on Pegula for the whole match, especially sort of from the end of the first set onwards. First set, I think Pegula was a little bit more secure on serve, but Sabalenka just eventually worked. The first serve percentage just dropped, and Sabalenka had chances with the second. And yeah, we could see that. Yeah, she was. Once she got her chances, she was taking them, and I think that high risk shot to break was one of the few times where it actually paid off. But that's Sabalenka for you.
Yeah, I mean, she's never going to be like, the queen of playing percentages, but most certainly that 5-4 game, that kind of really shows you that, well, she can mix it up in the right moment and just basically force Jessie to play there, which she wasn't really, intent on doing, or she wasn't really happy to do at that very moment. Still, yeah, two very risky shots on the last two break points. One of them went in. But yeah, I guess if she did it twice, the chance that she makes at least one of them was not that slim, actually.
They're just carving her name into the trophy now. I'm seeing live pictures of that. Schwan has got a question. Who has had the better career so far, Sabalenka or Osaka? Maybe too soon to say? Because they've had good careers for different reasons.
No, but it's so far, right?
I don't know.
So it can't be too soon to say, basically.
I mean,
I was actually thinking about this on my run earlier today, where I was just like, well, so one more slam on hard courts for Aryna, and she's kind of going to have the Osaka career in many ways. And, it could be Aryna in terms of just like sheer consistency at the top, better performances on grass and clay.
Yeah, I would say so. I think Aryna's been a lot more consistent when she's not winning slams.
Yeah.
And she's got a bigger trophy cabinet overall.
She can feasibly win all four of them. For Osaka, it's for now just two, really.
Also, Brazy points out, Sabalenka's got 2 double slams, so if you count all slams as equal, she's got more than Osaka. I know it's not how it actually works.
I would still go for actually Osaka's 4th slam being one of the biggest arguments here in favor of Naomi, rather than the 2 double slams for Aryna. But yeah, I mean, Aryna just has had a very consistent run over the past few years.
It wasn't a serious point.
It can be put in the same tier with Osaka at the very least.
I mean, honestly, I think the fact that Sabalenka's got way more 1,000 titles kind of is more what I'm looking at.
As well, and Naomi has 1, right?
Yeah, she's got 1. Saba's got a handful.
Naomi has, I guess, a few more weeks at number 1 probably, but it's not going to be like a crazy number. I actually would have to check that, but
yeah, I think she was number 1 for about 20 weeks in 2019.
And Aryna would have like what, 12? I don't know, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, like she got world number 1 after the US Open last year, and then lost it at the WTA finals. So it was like 8 weeks, maybe.
So for Naomi, it was 21, and Aryna 8. Yes.
8, yeah.
Sorry, 25 in total for Naomi.
But this does set up this title does set up a very interesting end of season run-in for number 1 between Sabalenka and Swiatek.
Yeah, I mean this actually puts her in the race. Obviously, she's won 2 slams, the only player to do it this year on the women's side, and yeah, this actually puts her in the conversation again. She is, if we're looking at like strictly at the ranking, then she is pretty far behind, but obviously she's not defending much, so it's just best to just look at the race where she's like, what, 400 points behind now? Something like that. Yeah, crazy. I mean, Osaka has a crazy ratio of slam titles to titles overall. Jan Kodesh, I think, is 3 out of 9 as well, and Osaka is even 4 out of 7.
Yeah, it's it's crazy that like Osaka is like undeniably a player who, at least in the past, when her level was on, she was unstoppable, but she only found that level 7 times in her career. So
It's
there we go.
609 points. That's how much Iga is ahead right now in the
race.
WTA race. Yeah, but we still have Beijing and Wuhan, and we still have the WTA finals. So it's all to play for, really. Clearly, the best players of the season. The big stain on Świątek's record is, of course, the Grand Slams outside of Roland Garros, pretty much. And on Sabalenka's, I guess it's that lull after the Australian Open up until the clay season.
Yeah, that was that weird.
Didn't play Wimbledon, but as we said earlier, or I said earlier, like I think that in a way actually kind of helped her be as good as she was during this North American swing.
I think we could say the same about Jessica Pegula as well. She had a bit of a break after the clay, or during the clay.
Yeah, but I mean, she still played the Olympics. She still played Wimbledon. Yeah, no. But yeah, she also has had a bit of a stop-start season, but that's just an injury like 2 months into the clay. Maybe she's a little less fatigued by now because of that. But I mean, she still did all of it, right? She still went grass, clay, hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Thoughts on Pegula's performance today? I've kind of said what I thought a few times. To me, I thought she competed really well. And when it was just, I think, just being vulnerable on second serve that let her down. But she really gave it a good go at stopping Sabalenka. And I think she should take some hope that if she does only have a couple more years at the top of the game, she's got a reasonable window for more opportunities at a Grand Slam title. But thoughts on how she did today?
Yeah, I mean, 6 out of 10 maybe. In terms of like getting tight, she only really got that in 5-6 maybe first set. When there were these games like 5-4 in the second, 5-6 in the second, she was just outplayed. Obviously, she cannot really like compete with Aryna's best. It's not something she can do much about, but I think she gave it her all. The second set fight back with like sudden great aggression, that was really good. And just generally when it comes to kind of her limitations today, the second serve, the fact that she was struggling to like chase down anything where she had to move up and down the court, like that's not something she can fix on the spot in this match. It's not something you should just come into this match and suddenly be like, okay, I'm gonna be better at this. Like, no, this is just too deep rooted, right? This is just a limitation she has to manage. She managed it pretty okay today. I certainly don't think she was horrible. I mean, absolutely fine. And she shouldn't be looking at this as a performance that, I think I said it during the stream, that it's not going to scar her for life. Not at all. It's just, she performed okay. She should be like pretty hungry to get back up there because she definitely didn't do herself like any injustice. And especially for a player who was 0-6 in quarterfinals before this event, you kind of had to think that, okay, if she gets through that barrier, why wouldn't she form like another one in the semis, in the final? But I don't think she did.
Yeah, and I don't think that tight game at 5-6 really changed the outcome of the match. Like maybe she wins the tie break. I still think Aryna, with the way the match was going, probably still would have won that tie break. It would have been 7-6, 7-5. But even if she had got the first set or even the second, when she was trying to serve it out, I mean, I think Aryna returned incredibly to break her back. I don't think she did an awful lot wrong in the 5-4 game where she was serving. I think Aryna would have still found a way to win this match. It was very clear that like the only way Aryna was losing would be if she kind of collapsed and she got tight and her game wasn't working. And let's face it, that just wasn't happening like that today. Because even when she was going through bad patches, she found her game when she needed it. And yeah, I agree with you. Pegula will not have many regrets from this match. And let's face it, neither will Aryna. Gets the job done today. And yeah, she's got a big grin on her face during this this trophy presentation, as she should very much enjoy this moment.
Yeah, just like we've enjoyed doing this stream, and it was definitely still a great final, despite being 2 sets. Was it as memorable as last year? I think so. I think both of them delivered in many ways. And yeah, certainly wasn't quite like Cincinnati, where it just felt like the dominance of Sabalenka is way too big. Whereas today we had just enough of these tense moments to really enjoy this from start to finish. And yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I think there was an element of doubt in the outcome of the result right up until Pegula got broken back at the end of the second set. Kind of when she was serving at 5-4 second set. I think this will go down as one of the better straight sets Grand Slam finals that's happened.
I think so, yeah. We've definitely had some stinkers. Świątek Paulini, Sabalenka Zheng. This is honestly, I'm sorry, Krejcikova and Paulini. This is the best Grand Slam final this season.
You think this is better quality than Krejcikova Paulini?
Yeah.
I could see that, because it was a very up and down match from both. And I think there was only a short period where they were both playing their best, whereas you did get some decent stretches in this match where both these players were playing a decent level.
Yeah, I think it was definitely my favorite final this season in women's singles. Men's, I guess you probably would have to say that at least one was better. Roland Garros, but yeah, I mean, on women's singles, I think it's my favorite of the season. What's your status, Nick, for the Sinner Fritz final?
I am not doing it. I am not available for the final. I am actually missing the final, to be honest. I have other engagements, but I will. I mean, to be honest, unless Taylor Fritz puts in the performance of his life, it might not be a Grand Slam final I regret skipping.
Yeah, I think it's likely you will not. I probably will be there, crazy, but I'm not too positive about it yet. I mean, tomorrow is just a busy day, qualifying round 1 here in Szczecin, 5 challenger finals to watch. But if I'll be done, more or less done with everything by the time the final is played, then yeah, then I'll definitely try to show up. But yeah, I'm not excited about the match. So I really am not. So
well, hopefully the commentary team who do cover the match, and I don't know who it is yet.
I think it was said in some group chat, but
enthusiastic. I mean, I haven't checked the chats for the last 3 hours, so
you haven't checked anything today.
Yeah. Also, Brazy, yes, I don't commit to many things. But hopefully it is. But like, yeah, I mean, we'll probably do a little bit of a preview for the Sinner Fritz final, so maybe John can clip it and send it out. In which case, do it from this point, John, because you don't want to include the conversation we just had. While they're interviewing the players, let's talk about how you think the Sinner Fritz final will go, if you're probably not going to be on the channel to cover it.
I mean, I probably will be, to be honest, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Fritz TFO was just a semi that Taylor won basically on his comfort zone, like the fact that he's so reliable and solid, and like he kind of just outweights TFO there. He waits for that dip, it happens, and I just don't think he can beat Sinner like this. Like Fritz is of course a very good ball striker. I don't think quite top 5 as Vange calls him. But these players, like they tend to struggle, I think, against Yannick, because you cannot go blow for blow with him right now. He's like got the best quality in his shots on tour, on the planet at the moment. So I think in order to win, Fritz has to like really go out of his shell and just play something bolder, play something different, surprise Yannick in whatever way he can. And I just don't think that's really Taylor for the most part. Like he doesn't really do it. He doesn't have that in him, and also just the nerves as well. Playing his first final, lots of pressure. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that final is not that competitive. Like, I kind of believe that the set scores will be relatively competitive, but I just don't really know if there will be a moment in that final where I'm gonna be like, maybe Sinner can lose. Probably not. Like, I'm kind of expecting a similar match to kind of the entire run of Yannick, where you just never really have doubts. I guess maybe against Daniil, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, you just kind of expect him to win this relatively routinely, even if maybe he drops a set somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, I could see Yannick dropping a set. I could see Fritz playing a really confident set, and Yannick maybe dips a bit because he did a little bit against Draper, did a bit against Medvedev. I could see the similar thing happening with Fritz. But I agree with you. I think Yannick will have an answer on return when they get into rallies. And yeah, he's overall going to have the advantage. He's going to have to maybe not necessarily be his best level, and Taylor's going to have to be amazing. So, yeah.
Left wrist, I mean, we can only guess. I honestly missed most of Sinner Draper. I've seen the incident later, but yeah, we can only guess. Apparently, he was a bit more positive about it than an Alex Deminor at Wimbledon, for example, right?
Yeah, like I think it clearly was not an issue by set 3, and he injured it. He hurt it middle of the second set towards the end of it. So yeah, like he wasn't really shaking his wrist out as the match went on. Like I think it just worked itself out. So yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we're kind of on the kind of similar page with that. I mean, your comment about Fritz playing with his comfort zone. Was he playing in his comfort zone against Zverev?
I don't think I've watched enough of that match to really tell you. I watched the tie breaks for sure, but that was more like Zverev just kind of not being confident in his game as usual. But yeah, I don't think I watched most of it. So,
well, everyone, if you're still watching, definitely tune in for our coverage of Sinner Fritz tomorrow, because look, we've said before things weren't going to be competitive, and we've been wrong before. Hey, who was giving Taylor Fritz a chance against Rafael Nadal in Indian Wells 2022? Yes, I know Rafa was injured, but we didn't know that before they walked out on court. If anything, we were talking about Fritz being injured, but that's a whole tangent here. Marcus, good to see you. Glad to have some Aryna fans in the chat. We haven't had very many vocal Aryna fans for a bit. So great to see that. I do want to kind of cover the moment. I mean, you've probably already seen it where Aryna lifts the trophy, finally gets her hands on it. As Dave says, it is her first major since she got her new teeth. So, well, let's face it, I don't think that's going to affect too much of her performance. And yeah, she's eyeing up that trophy now. Really eyeing it up. Like Mary Jo Fernandez is really dragging this out for this moment. There's some pleasantries with the check and whatnot. $3.6 million US. Hey, she's probably got something like that in the bank already, but that will definitely help a lot. Shows off the check. Has a bit of fun with that. Jessica Pegula looking at her like that's probably pocket change to her. And now Billie Jean King is going to step forward with the US Open Women's Trophy to hand it to Aryna Sabalenka, who finally, after coming gradually closer and closer every year for the last few years, is finally holding it, and she raises it above her head. I'm expecting to see streamers going off. There it is. There's the red, white, and blue of the US Open streamers. What a moment. Aryna Sabalenka is finally US Open champion. Belarus has finally produced a Grand Slam winner. Damien, over to you for final thoughts.
Final thoughts? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of, trophy presentation isn't the most interesting thing to me. Sabalenka obviously won the match. She earns her third Grand Slam title. She really puts herself out there. I mean, I think she's obviously has a great chance as well to try to complete the entire set. Right now, there's actually a conversation on who's the best player of the season, which I don't think it's clear at all. And yeah, the Cincinnati US Open double that she pulled off here was just incredibly impressive. No one was really close to her at all. She only dropped one set, and that was to Alexandrova. After that, she dominated the next two. So yeah, she was clearly the best player of this North American hardcourt season at the very least, and just delivered on that, which wasn't easy for her. So on a mental level, it's also a very impressive victory. Picks up two slam titles in the season too. And well, that's kind of it from me. I mean, 5 a.m. Shanghai now is on my mind.
Well, 5 a.m. your time, which is about 4.5 hours away. So
Yeah.
I think it's time you got some sleep. I think it's time I got some sleep. And maybe it's time for, maybe not all of our viewers to get some sleep. Like Dave, I'm pretty sure it's like 5, 6 p.m. your time if you're going to sleep now. You're missing out on a Saturday evening. But yeah. Yeah. So thanks for joining me, Damien. And it's been great fun as always covering the Grand Slam final. Always a pleasure doing this. Thanks everyone in chat. Dave, Brazy, Schwarner, Nerlan. Don't know where Ghosty went, but very grateful for the $2 you donated earlier.
That's gonna last us for like what, 1/12 of a honeydews, 1/11.
Let's face it, John's probably already spent it on a beer somewhere in Spain. So
yeah, I mean, he said he was heading home, and then he never showed up. So he's clearly in the pub.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, yeah. Well, look, I think John's probably going to be enjoying himself there. We will be back tomorrow for our regular stream. For regular stream, and we're going to be bringing you the US Open final with hopefully with definitely a better commentary team. You never know. I'm dragging the side down here, Damien, with my 45-second hit delay. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you for WTA Weekly, where we'll wrap up all the stories of the US Open on Monday, time TBC. And Damien will probably see you at some point for ATP Weekly on the same day as well. So, see you on Monday, guys. Till then, take care and keep talking tennis.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready?